All right, I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen Friends. Welcome to a special Sunday afternoon session where I come back on to finish out all the readings from this morning. You'll notice there's no chat in this session because I'm not taking any new questions, just finishing up everything from this morning. I will be back next Friday for more readings if you'd like to join us then, or if you want to become one of my YouTube channel members. I have two levels. Zen Cricket's $2.99 a month. Praying Mantis is $7.99 a month. We do get together on Thursday nights for readings as well. So all that information is listed in the description box down below. What else? What else? Also in the description box, I have the list of the order in which I'm going to complete the readings this afternoon. And when I'm done, I'll have a pinned comment listing all the readings with timestamps. I know, high tech, I know. So those will be listed there. And we will start with donations that I didn't finish. And again, thank you guys so much for all your patience in getting to your readings. We will, get to all of them today. So thank you so much for that. I think that's it. Da da da, blah blah blah. I think that's everything. All right. So I'm going to continue to use this Arcanus Animal Tarot. It's a nice deck there. So if you're interested, you can see what that is there. All right. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get some answers here. Also, if SUDESHNA, if you're watching here, when I get to your first reading, I'll mention it as well. I had 3 donations and I looked for a third question. I did not see it. So if you have it, there's no chat in here. But if you comment, I'll get an email. Or if you want to send an email to me, my email address is in the description box. It's Brudda, BRUDDAZEN @gmail.com. If you send me your question for your third one, for some reason maybe you put it didn't show up. Sometimes that happens with YouTube. If you have a word or something that it might not allow it to go through. Looks like it does. It gives you a little warning, but we don't see it sometimes. So, just to be sure to send me number 3 or I'll owe you one. All right. So we will start here. Shawn G, you are up. Let me grab your timestamp here. All right, Shawn G. So thank you so much for your donation earlier. And you wanted a guidance for the week. Of course. How could I forget? That's what it's for. All right. Let's take a look here. And if you ever, sometimes in the Cash app, it has a 4. If you can, in that 4, you can put guidance for the week there if you want to too, because some people will put a little short message on what they want for their reading. And that can help too if you want, you can do that. All right, so let's take a look here. Guidance for the week here. Guidance for the week. What does Spirit wants you to know for the week? All right. That one, and this one, and these 2, and this one. Do what these 2 as underlying energies, as well as this one and this one here. All right. Boom. Scooch these over. I feel like this is the way they're going to be. All right. You do have the Justice card on the bottom of the deck, which is this balancing energy coming in for the week. And I really want to focus in on that energy because you have 2 cards and then 1 card and then 2 card and then 1 card. It's kind of this balancing energy, right? It's also like taking one step at a time, taking a day at a time, and not trying to like rush through the week to get to the end of it, because then, that's what, if we rush so much, we don't get to enjoy the moments. And so it's really important to enjoy the moments next week. So I like this energy coming in. So I feel like towards the beginning of the week, you do have the Emperor and the Knight of Swords energy. This is about making some decisions and deciding where you're wanting to go. Emperor energy is about letting other people's expectations go, all these opinions go. The Knight of Swords is that quest for seeing things from a different perspective, seeing differently, but really, I feel like for you, it's because of the combination the Emperor is also trying to figure out what is it that I want, not what everyone else wants me to want, and what have I been taught I'm supposed to want, but what do I really want? And so there's this figuring it out with these 2 cards at the beginning of the week of making some important decisions about, next steps and forward movement in your life, and that's good. It's good to kinda step back and try to separate up. It's like the emperor clearing the throne room of all these self-appointed advisors, blah, 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 to where you can be sitting in silence and quiet and go, "What is it that I want for my empire, my kingdom?" Not what everyone else wants, because it's me, it's my life, I get to decide. So I like that for you, at the beginning of the week. Then you kind of move into the next couple days after that. You have the 9 of Wands, which is an energy of perseverance here for you. I feel like there's blocks. That's what this under yeah, the 2 of Wands underneath, which is, the underlying energy of this, the block and the perseverance, because it feels like there's 2 energies coming in with that. One where the focus of your energy is, you know, keeping things kind of stuck, and then other ways things are flowing. That's why I feel like you can really take a step back and go, okay, the things that are flowing, oh, it's because I'm having gratitude and I have this kind of energy toward it. And the things that feel stuck, I have this kind of energy toward it. So I like this realization that comes in. So the first card's Monday, Tuesday, these cards Tuesday, Wednesday. And so in those couple days, it's like, okay, I get it. I see. I'm going to move away from lack. I'm going to move away from focusing on need and want around that and or fears or things I hate. I'm going to change my attitude to gratitude and to joy and laughter around this area and watch it change and watch it switch up. That's what I feel like moves this thing from stagnancy or like a block in it, allows things to move forward. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's kind of the overlapping energies kind of coming in. Yeah, 2 of Cups, Queen of Cups, emotional choice on this what did I say, Wednesday, Thursday? Queen of Cups, ruler over emotion, 2 of Cups, emotional choice energy. So I feel like there is an opportunity for the heart really to be activated on those days, which makes total sense because Wednesday, Thursday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It is Wednesday, Thursday. Full moon in Sagittarius, full moon energy. Whoa, a lot of emotional energy. So be aware of that. 10 of Swords, getting out of your head, letting those expectations, any people pleasing, worrying about what people think and worrying about what you think. Really a lot of energy, and this Sagittarius full moon energy really helps you get out of your head and into your heart. It's more fiery, it's more fun, it's more play, it's more the higher vibrational motion than it is getting caught in our head and lower vibrational energy. So just be aware of all that, because there is this fluctuation. We talked about in the beginning of this morning's stream. If you catch the beginning of it, we did talk a lot about the Mercury going into Cancer, Jupiter. Mercury went into Cancer today. Jupiter goes into Cancer tomorrow and Tuesday. Then the full moon in Sagittarius, which is also Jupiter, ruled by Jupiter. A lot of that energy. So if you catch the beginning of the stream, there's some great information on that, as well as the full moon in Sagittarius video, as well, and the 6/6 Zen Gate on Friday, is a good one that came out too. Talks about all this emotional energy that's coming in. All right, and then Thursday, Friday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, the moon energy continues. So be really aware this moon energy is so powerful, for you and impactful for you that it's important to really take those steps to surround yourself. I even provided, a video of, what was it? It's my, empathic bubble and my empathic, the true gift of an empath. I feel like all this emotional energy, a lot of that stuff is helpful. Um, I posted it at the beginning of the stream, towards the beginning of the stream too. So if you go back on and the stream is there, you should be able to see the chat. I think I posted them at the beginning and at the end of the chat of the stream this morning. So those are great resources if you haven't seen them or if you would like to see them. That's up to you. You do have the giving and receiving energy on Thursday and Friday. So the underlying energy of this mother moon energy, Cancer moon energy, all this Cancer energy, you got the Wheel of Fortune. So I really do. Thursday and Friday feels like a time of abundance where you have enough to where you're able to help others too. So there is this kind of abundant, mothering, nurturing energy on Thursday, Friday, but you have the funds and the sources of abundance in different ways to be able to give to others. I feel like you're just in a very even more so giving mood on Thursday and Friday because of all this energy that's coming in. So that is what I feel for that, and then we'll grab you a fortune cookie here, but I feel like that's what we're looking at for the week. Just shuffle these back in here. All right, and I do want to go to the art of manifestation. Of course, you have to have the art of manifestation. Being the artiste of who you are. I feel like this is yours here. Yeah, again, allow yourself to receive as well. That giving and receiving energy. Allow yourself through gratitude is how we open ourselves to receive. Because if I focus on lack, then I'm rejecting receiving. But if I focus on gratitude, I'm opening to receiving. Card number one of the greatest blocks is our ability to manifest our greatest desire. In manifesting our greatest desires is an inability. Okay, let me start over. I really do know how to talk. Slow down. One of the greatest blocks in our ability to manifest our greatest desires is an inability to allow ourselves to receive. So this card asks you, take some time to identify any inner beliefs, perceptions, and attitudes that stop you from receiving, and one by one, remove these resistances. I like this, allow yourself to receive. And that's one of the biggest blocks we have is when we focus on need and want, that's lack energy, which actually works against receiving instead of gratitude. So that's what they have for you, Shawn. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Happy Pill, you are up. And thank you for joining as a Zen Cricket member. So hopefully we'll get to see you on Thursday. So good to see you. Thank you for that. And then of course we've got your 2 donations. So thank you for that. And then your free reading, it will be down in the YouTube channel member free reading area. So you'll have a second one to go down in a second timestamp when we get to that as well. So you'll have two timestamps, this one here and then one down below. All right. So thank you again for your donations. I appreciate these. So for the first one here, you want ancestral guidance on your upcoming life. All right. Let's see how we being drawn to any oracle from your ancestors. Don't feel like it. I don't think so. No. All right. So let's see here. What guidance do your ancestors specifically have for you for your upcoming life? Okay. And then these two. I'm getting an energy here because all these cards are overlaying kind of on top of one another. That's funny. Makes so much sense. Which represents like the ancestral line. And they're showing me like, because it's chains in a way, but it's also like this life is happening when this life is happening, when this life is happening. There's several generations sometimes living at the same time. And so they're overlapping, and there's things that are being stacked and things that are being removed throughout all of these that are happening here. And so I feel like their guidance for your upcoming life is kind of this advice of whatever they have going on here, which we'll talk about in a sec. That's going from generation to generational. There's some generational things that you are going to be able to break free from and pursue your own path outside of it. And so we'll see what that is here. It's funny because we had the Seven of Pentacles, which is normally like a tree or a bush, the family tree. And it is the patience. It is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And it that is this energy of it takes generations for things to develop and things because things build and take time to build up. It also takes time for things over generations to be removed as well. And I feel like this is what a big piece of all this message is about. So let's start off here. You have the high priestess. Yeah, this important time to step back, step out of the chaos, spend time connecting with your ancestors, look behind the veil, dive deep into the emotions. But there's a lot of hidden things to be revealed regarding the ancestry that will be revealed to you. And I do feel with all of this emphasis that different people in different generations are chosen as like representatives for the generation to interact with other ancestors to help transform and make changes within the family tree, and you are one that's been chosen for your generation. So you do have certain draw to ancestors that you've never even met. This isn't like, oh, I know grandpa or great grandfather. It's like these are ancestors that go back. Let's see, this would be your generation. So you got one, two, three, four, five, six. I feel like this is where we started here. So 6 generations up is where, the contact is between these individuals. So and I feel like you have one from your, like, father's line and one from your mother's line. These are 2 individuals. So you might have we'll see if they're, um, divine masculine, divine feminine energy. I don't feel it, yet. So they're like, "Nope, no, Dina, no." But this is where it started here. King of Wands. So someone who was very much a leader of a tribe or nation, not so much that big, not like a true king, but they were like a tribal leader or in charge of an area. Someone very prominent in one of your ancestors here on one of the sides that you have. And they were the beginning. They were the ones that kind of formed off on their own, and I like this energy because this is the energy that you're able to glean from in this stepping away. You get to decide what it is you wanna do and where you wanna go, and this is that breaking free of tradition, this breaking free of some long-held beliefs that have been passed down from generation to generation. This is an individual that broke away from a big tribe or a big nation, whatever, to go off on their own and created their own, kind of pioneering, maybe even had left somewhere to go to an island or, but it is definitely like they went away and were isolated from everyone else to start up this, and they took, family and other friends with them to start, a group of them to create a new tribe. And this was them that 6 generations ago, 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 6 generations ago, feels like someone that really broke away from all that, and you get to glean from that. And then you also have the devil card. Here is law. This is the challenger of long-held beliefs. So it does feel like you come from a long line of rebels. People, at least these 2 generations are, like, they didn't wanna do things the same way, and they challenged the old ways of dealing with it. And so there's been this breaking of cycles, breaking of traditions that's, been coming through, uh, at least one side of the family, that you're gleaning from, and you're able to use that energy to rebel against and choose where you're wanting to go, not being caught up in pleasing everyone else and doing what everyone else wants to do. And well, got to make family happy. It's like so many people are not wanting to be under restriction, and if one person goes out, everyone's like, "Yeah, like, they get to," and it gives like, you stepping out gives other people permission to also step out. I like that. 9 of Wands. Yeah, it's like this generation really hit a roadblock because there was this, something that kicked in that kept them from being able to break free, more, and so they kind of ugh, the forward progress, the rebellion kinda stopped in this, 4th generation above you, so that would be your great-grandparents. There was something that, happened that made it like, "Oh, pff," so the progress came to a halt because they hit a brick wall. The generation of your grandparents here, yep, you got the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So there was change again initiated here, another king, balancing of head and heart, the Knight of Cups, movement of heart. So it feels like in your grandparents' generation, there was this allowing to follow your heart, not, and maybe this could be arranged even to the point of arranged marriages where they're allowing people like, no, we're not going to do all that. We're going to allow you to find love for yourself, or it just feels like very heart centered energy and decisions. Excuse me, that were made, allowing things to move forward again. So it feels like there was, all right, boom, the next generation, let's go. And then from your parents' generation, yeah, another death and rebirth type of energy that's come in here. And even though it may not seem like it sometimes, you know, because we, of course, we get the rulership of our parents and we think, "Oh my gosh, them lenient," but when we understand their childhood and then their parents' childhood and their parents' childhood and their parents' childhood, we don't realize how much that they moved away from things to help move the family tree forward, and then you're here too, yeah, and here's the 6 of Swords for you too, so perfect, because this is leaving old ways of thinking behind, finding higher ways of thinking and movement and transformation. So, I feel like their big message from your ancestors is they're showing you generation from generation, you have all of this support of change and that not to be afraid to ignite change. Because even though the older family might feel like, wait a minute, and you're like, if they only would remember the kind of rebel they were, but we somehow forget, don't we? And we expect everyone to obey us, and then we're like, oh, you know what? So your children, continuing on, and the other younger generation too, um, whether it's, cousins and nieces and nephews or whatever, it's like, you know what? Allow them to be the rebels because they have a heritage of it, and you can encourage and help them, also move forward. So don't be afraid to break out of the mold, get out of the box, transition to a different location, a different occupation, a different, um, religion or spiritual belief, or different, what is it called? Tradition or whatever. Don't be afraid. You're supported by your ancestors. All right, let's see what their fortune cookie is here for you. Yeah, ground yourself. Card number 21. This card is a request for you to literally ground yourself. Go outdoors, take off your shoes, and find somewhere where it is safe to stand barefoot. Imagine roots growing out of your feet, traveling down into the soil beneath you, anchoring you with the nurturing energy of the earth. I love that rooting, but also when you're doing that, realize you're like a family tree, that you're rooted in your ancestry too. This the ancestors of your bloodline, but also realize that in the many lifetimes you've lived, you've been in different family trees. So you've interacted with very many different ancestors throughout different times in your life. Because we don't like to, sometimes we'll have assignments where like we sign up for and want to really help a specific family tree make a lot of transformation. So we'll stay within a family bloodline for a while. But we get bored. We like to move in between and experience a lot of different bloodlines too. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for that first one there, Happy Pill. So thank you for that. And thank you for your second donation too. This one, you want marriage related messages and guidance. Okay, let's take a look here. Let me take a quick sip here. My little garlic lemon honey tea. Yum, yum. All right. What about marriage here? Happy Pill. I do want that one and this one. Don't want those, but I do want this one and these. Okay, yeah, I'll take that one too. They were insistent. It's their cards after all. Okay, and then this one. All right. Let's just move these over here. Got like these little clusters of cards. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Five of Wands here. Five of Wands overall energy here. There is this conflicting energy between head and heart with the Five of Wands. So there does seem to be here, and we were talking about just breaking ancestral, you know, chains and different things like that. This does say that the mind is going, well, this is how it should be and supposed to be and need to be. Some traditions, some thoughts and beliefs about who they're supposed to be, how you're supposed to meet, how it's supposed to unfold, who you're supposed to be in the relationship, and how it all's supposed to unfold, blah, 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 right? A lot of stuff up here, but the heart is like, but I want this. And so the heart is tugging and like a tug of war with the mind on around marriage and around moving forward. Let's see, the first two cards that came out together, yeah, new love. You do have new love headed your way here with the Ace of Cups and the Nine of Cups. The dream come true kind of energy with the Nine of Cups. It is this fulfillment. And there's two messages that come in with this for you. One is you're really working out here what a dream come true from your heart's point of view around marriage is versus what this dream come true is from your mind. So the shaking and rattling and understanding, that's where that tug of war is coming in, because the mind's going, no, no, it needs to be this, and the heart's like, no, 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 it needs to be this. So you're really discovering, wow, I didn't realize, heart, you felt this way. I thought you were in alignment with our brain. And the heart is like,
this is my last word. No.
the heart is like, no, I do not want that. Sorry, this is a, a little button that my host uh, uh, she was cleaning out stuff. She goes, hey, would you want this? I'm like, absolutely, yes. All right. The other message is about the Ace of Cups. The love that you're looking for is in here. Every relationship you have, including your marriage, is going to be a reflection of your self love. So there is this, especially with the nine, which is the hermit's journey. The combination of this is to find true happiness in a relationship out here. You have to have true happiness in the relationship with yourself and your higher self. And so the more you raise your love vibration, the more you're able to give and receive love in the outside world, because you can't love someone more than you love yourself, nor receive love from someone more than to the extent you love yourself. So it's a win-win of raising your self-love. And this is an important piece of all this, that, you know, a person isn't going to make you feel happy unless you're happy already on the inside. Then they just make it easier for you to be happy, or they can make it more difficult for you to try to be happy depending on the person, right? So two good messages that are important there. And then we move into these. Yeah, the Eight of Cups, more emotional energy. The Eight of Cups is an energy about leaving behind relationships, emotions that no longer serve you, and it's about, in preparation for marriage, and for relationships. It's the Eight of Cups brings two things. It's all about the two things, right? But the Eight of Cups is being aware of friends, family, exes, whoever that I'm investing energy into emotional relationships, You know, relationships are give and take. Sometimes I can give 80%, other times I can only give 20 and someone else gives 80. But if there's a relationships in any of those spectrums where you're giving 70, 80, 90% all the time, and they're consistently only giving 10, 20, 30, if it's not a child, then we're over giving, right? And that's we're out of balance. We're spending more emotional energy than we're receiving, which means our emotional account is getting towards bankruptcy, right? It's going to get overdrawn and you're going to get some NSF fees, right? So it's becoming aware and evaluating where you're investing this energy and what you're investing in. And then you can, bring that back. You can realize, okay, I can just stop investing emotional energy or not as much. Like if it's a relationship that is really important to you, you can back off to 50%, see if they'll make that up. And if not, just let it drift away. And then you're like, no, I'm going to take all this energy back because you're building up an emotional energy bank to be able to spend it into a relationship, right? So that's a big piece of why this is coming up. And then also any emotions that you've suppressed and pushed down, especially when you were 7 years old or younger. Anger that you couldn't express because no tantrums, you'll get spanked, or I wanted to cry, but they're quit your crying, or I'll give you something to cry about, right? Because those are the three ways that we express ourselves as children emotionally, right? Happy baby, happy child, tantrum, angry, or sad and crying. And only one of those out of the three is usually welcomed by adults. The happy child, right? So we have these emotions that we push down and um, it takes energy to keep that down there. So as you transmute and you look at some old emotions that you can transform in whatever tool you prefer, you get that energy back too, which helps prepare you for marriage. So that's an important piece there. Yeah, this death and rebirth energy that comes in here, putting an end to the old ways. Again, raising your love vibration helps you not attract lower vibrational things, but it also speeds up the time in which you will meet this other person as well. Yep, the death and rebirth. You got the full card. Really, these two together, and you got the magician too, the 0 and then the 1. We'll talk about the magician card separate here real quick, but the death and rebirth is again letting go of old ways of thinking. The more expectations we have around who someone's supposed to be, how the relationship and marriage is supposed to be, and who we're supposed to be, all that stuff is what sucks the life out of a relationship because we're focusing on what's not happening instead of focusing on what is. This is where the magician card comes in because wherever we focus our energy is what grows and expands. And so being aware of when I'm getting in towards a relationship, if I'm focusing on, well, this needs to happen, that's not happening, this has to happen, blah, 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 then lack and not happening grows. When we're focused on what we're grateful for and who someone is and how the relationship is and all that, then we get more of that and that grows and expands. So, very important energies here. You got all these major arcana. The judgment card is seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. Again, this energy of not seeing things from a human standpoint, but from your higher self and from a bigger picture going, who said that this is the way it has to be and supposed to be and need to be? Let me see things for the eyes of the creator, the eyes of the heavens, right? And you do have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's slow process. It's the slowest moving knight out of here. And um but the Knight of Pentacles, when we get a patience card, when things seem to be going slow or taking forever, it's given us time to do that stuff, to let go of the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve us anymore, the emotions that don't serve us anymore, becoming aware of the energy where we're focusing and making those changes and releasing energy that doesn't serve us anymore. And even things in the physical world, making space in our lives in all those areas by releasing and will allow us to open up and draw things in faster as well. So I like all that for you. I feel like we're going to pull an angel number for this one for you. So let's see what your fortune cookie is for this. All right. You've got 999. Where you go. Release. Release, release, release. Release all this stuff. Balance, cycles, what goes around comes around. Says your current circumstances will be ending, so you might take advantage of better ones, right? Letting go of the old to make room for the new. If you are experiencing a significant change or conclusion, viewing your life as a series of cycles or chapters may be helpful. How can you make room for something new to emerge? We can't make it up. Almost the exact words I used, right? We're releasing these old things to make space and room for the new. All right. So that's what they have for that one. Happy Pill. Like I said, we'll be circling back around. You'll be the first for the YouTube channel member free reading. So you'll have another one for that here soon. All right. So thank you again for your donations. All right. And then Moonlight 5. We have your first one here. So thank you for your multiple donations. Let me bring these up here. 1 and 2. And this one here. Okay. So thank you so much, Moonlight. And so you wanted to know here, do the people close to you understand the fact that you're totally worn out with absolutely no energy these days? Or do they think that I'm saying no just to be difficult?
No!
I love that little button. Some seem disappointed. Yeah. All right, let's take a look here. So we'll look at here the overall consensus because everyone has different perceptions and different understandings, of course, right? So it depends on the individual. You know, those that get it and those that don't. Some are so self-consumed that they don't realize, you know, they do take things personally. So these that the some that seem disappointed, you know, don't see beyond their own selves. They just see, all I see is this is impacting me. You're not being who I need you to be. And you're just like, don't make me don't make me kill you. No. So we have the death card underneath the bottom of the deck here, which is this renewal, right? This transformation. Um, and that's okay. You know, the death card with this situation really feels like this energy of I'm not going to worry about if people are disappointed, um if people don't like the um responses or me saying no. um because if they don't like it and they go away, that's okay. You know, I'm okay losing people who are disappointed in me for not being there, you know, the sheep, not gonna say the sheep, the goat that provides the milk, the cow that provides the milk, you know? I'm like, I'm not gonna be your farm animal, and if you don't like it, and you're like, "Well, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going away. Bye." My life will be much better without you in it, you know? I'll be free from having to make sure a leech isn't leeching itself and sucking the life out of me, right? My blood. I'm like, I don't have to keep an eye out for you. I, my life will be more peaceful without it, right? So this fear of an end, fear of endings, you know, is a good energy to look at and go, yeah, I'm okay to let go, right? Besides, there's no room for you on my Volkswagen bus I'm gonna buy and become a gypsy. I don't need you. All right, let's see what's coming in here as well. Yeah, some people understand your need for balance with the Queen of Swords, balance in your head and heart, and the High Priestess. Some of them understand that it's up to you, you know, that you need to step away from the chaos to recharge, go up into your High Priestess temple, and you know, have your recovery and connection time. There's people that get it here with that, right? And you know who those are. They're the ones that are like, "Oh, yeah, let me know if you need anything, bye," They give you the space that you need, right? Um, and then there's others. Then on the other hand, literally the 2 of Pentacles, then there's the other hand, the 6 of Cups. There's this energy of childlikeness, and that's kind of the difference, right? There's those that you see as adults and those as that you see as young adults, right? And this isn't your child. This is about your perception of other people and how you can feel that energy, right? You're like, yeah, these people who get it and understand it they know that you need a nap, to recharge and that you are exhausted and that you have other things. Oh, they get it. They're like, I trust you. I want that. Other people are like, what do you mean? What? I don't get it. What it? That's that younger young adult feeling where they're like, oh, they're still learning to get that. They still have that unbridled energy that you're like, God, if I could just, if I could leech off of them some of that energy, I would, but we can't. um, so I feel like that's important to understand there. You got the King of Swords. So this is like a third group that's really in their head, and yeah, and this is a judgment. This is people that do see things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. Um, that they get it up here. There's some that, get it up here, but they still react emotionally and with your empathic abilities, even though they get it up here, sometimes we don't get it down. Sorry, we don't get it down here. There's a knowing and there's a knowing. Like some people are like, I know, I understand that, but it still makes me upset. So there's like this would be the people in the middle between it. Like stages, right? There's the young that don't get it at all in this particular situation. Then there's some that are in between that they get it, but they still have emotional feelings around it. Maybe they don't express it, but you're picking it up. And then there's some that are like, totally get it, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, 9 of Cups. Your dreams come true. Again, this focus with this 9 hermit energy, focusing in back on you that it doesn't matter. Um, People are gonna be disappointed always, everyone all these humans have contradictory opinions, and there's always gonna be someone that's gonna be upset that didn't get exactly what they wanted, until they learn to get rid of more and more of their expectations, but so I feel like that's the big message for you there. Hopefully that helps, you know, as long as you understand that you're worn out, and that other people, this disappointment, I feel like some of the readings we were talking about, this does come up here for you to bring it to your face to go, am I disappointed in myself? Ooh, I know, right? It's like, yeah, I can see that. I feel like I am supposed to be up here, but I only have this much. I'm disappointed in myself. So look at that and sit with that and go, yeah, because if I'm not disappointed with myself, I don't give a rat's bohiny about what other people think because I'm okay with who I am. But if I'm bothered, that means there's something inside of me that I might be disappointed in myself. Little accusing, um, you know, um, little self-critic. But you should have more energy. Shut up. Yeah, I love this. Trust the universe. Beautiful card, which says sometimes we can strive relentlessly to make something happen and then experience huge disappointments when our efforts do not work out. Look at there. Whilst action on our part is required, if we are too determined to stay on one course only, we inadvertently block ourselves from the guidance and direction that the universe is trying to bring to us. This is the time to trust and let things happen, right? All right, I'm just going to be me and do what I need to do for me, and we'll see where things unfold. People who want and get it will stay, and those who are disappointed and, well, I can't be around you if you're not going to be my food bag or whatever. You're like, I'll miss you. All right. So that's what they have for that one for you, Moonlight. And then we'll circle back around to others as we get to those as well. In the pinned comment, I will have all of your timestamps for your donations next to each other. But for now, I'll be moving forward. All right. So, SUDESHNA GHOSH, you are up here. Thank you for your multiple donations. I do want to mention I don't think YouTube put the third comment because I found your first one, your second one, but I didn't find a third one. You made a third donation and said it's down in the comments. And I looked and I looked and I looked and I didn't see it. So sometimes if there's a word or something, a symbol, YouTube will go, no, you can't post that. And we don't catch that they're saying a little like error message or whatever. And then like, all right, it's out there, but it didn't get to me. I didn't find it there. So if you are watching this now, if you want to either post a comment, it should, because I don't have a chat going. If you post a comment, I should get an email showing that you posted a comment, or you can email me at brettazen@gmail.com. The email address is in the description box, but it's BRUDDA, then ZEN at gmail.com. So if you do that, I'll catch it. And if we don't catch it in this session, I'll owe you one. And you can still email me one, and I can do a little short separate video and send you a link or something too. So we'll get you squared away. So sorry about whatever happened there. All right. So SUDESHNA for your number one here. Thank you for that. I love your little hot dog sticker. And celebrating your 5th super on a live stream. Yay. So you want to know for yours, oh, your birthday's in August. That's nice. And then him, all right, June. Oh, his birthday's coming up. What are his feelings and thoughts for you in terms of love? Very good friends for 4.5 years. Yay. All right, let's see here about feelings and thoughts in terms of love, not friend love, but romantic love, right? See what we got bubbling below the surface here too with these. I feel like that's it, yeah, because that's the bottom. All right. Okie dokie. Let's scooch these over. Okay, they want these split like that. That one right there. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we do have the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is an energy of like an energetic block or a barrier kind of that's holding them back from acknowledging feelings that they have. But I do feel like there's something that just is keeping them from moving forward, which makes sense. Well, we have such a good friends, that why screw it up by getting romantically involved, because I'll lose, if it doesn't work out, I will lose someone I'm dating plus a very good friend. It's like, is it worth it? Cost benefit analysis, right? So let's see what's behind here with thoughts and feelings. Queen of Swords, very balanced between head and heart here. They do feel here that the Queen of Swords, that is one of these very compatible person there. They do recognize their thoughts regarding you are, wow, we get along very well, right? Senses of humor and your conversations. And so it's a good foundation of friendship. It's like, yeah, we're great friends because you guys really fit well together. And they recognize that. Again, that fear of like, but what if going further screws all that up? Do I really want to lose all that? Underlying 2 energies below that, yeah, the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. So they do see the benefits of your guys' friendship for quite a while. The 10 of Wands can be a card of burden, but when it's paired with the 10 of Pentacles, this is like double abundance. So they do recognize all of this bounty that comes from your guys' friendship. And the 10 of Pentacles is a relationship energy. It can be fullness of life. And they're just like, they just enjoy your friendship so much that it keeps coming back to that, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Then see what else we have here. Ace of Cups. So they do have that love that's there. That's is that love, and we do have the Devil card, the scaredy, uh, beliefs of fear and those things that bubble up that make us feel chained and trapped, and it's like the mind has trapped the heart to not allow it to move on that. So the heart is there, the heart is drawn towards you, but the mind is clamped down where it's not allowing. It's like the little puppy dog in a carrier. It can't go anywhere. It's yelping and wanting to get out and shaking the cage. I need out of here. I want to express myself. And the mind, their mind is, nope, you can't do that. Underlying energy, yeah, the death card, the fear of endings, the fear of losing it all. So just very much emphasized here. Because you got to ask yourself, do I myself want to risk love? And if it doesn't work out, lose them? Is it worth it for me? It's like and it can be a conversation. We'll see what these last two cards are, but it can be a conversation going, you know what? I don't know how you feel about me, and I love who you are. I love our friendship, and you know, what do you think? I don't want to ruin our friendship. I don't want to make it weird, but I could see me being with you, as more than friends. And I know I would hate to lose you as a friend if it didn't work out, but I feel like you know, I feel like it's maybe worth the risk. And what do you think? And if they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't feel that way about you," then you're like, "Oh, good. Never don't worry about it then. I'll enjoy your friendship and I will find love somewhere else," right? And that's the fear we have is like that they would say that, right? We're like, "Oh God, now it is going to make it weird." But sometimes it's better to take the risk. And if they say no, and you're like, that's fine. And if it ruins the friendship, it ruins the friendship. But at least that ability to be a good friend you can have in a romantic relationship with someone else too, right? You have that capacity. And but you have to decide, is it worth that for me too? Because that's their fear is I don't know. I don't know. And then they change the subject in their head and go on to something else. What else do we have here? Yeah, the balancing, trying to balance it all out. That makes sense. Really overthinking it. And the power of choice. Again, they're at this crossroads, trying to figure out the balancing, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And so it does say that there is these emotions that are there, but they're investing a lot of energy in it, trying to, find out, is it worth the risk? Is the loss that I will feel, is it worth it in comparison to what I think we could have together if it was more, right? So interesting, I know. But I feel like you need to come into terms with what you want because are you willing to step up and say something? You're like, "Oh, hell no." Well, that's where he's at too. Oh, okay. So, with everything that I've been saying, exact wording, your fortune cookie says, "Take a risk." You can't make it up. And there's only like 3 cards left out of this deck. Step out of your comfort zone. Feeling safe and secure is a wonderful experience, but if we remain in our safe zone for fear of change, we create a limiting and restrictive environment that can ultimately lead to stagnation and the loss of our creative potential to manifest our greatest contribution to the world. Let go of fear and take a risk. Boom. You can't make it up. So it's time to step forward. Share how you feel. Or if this was like, well, no, I don't want to be. I just am wondering if they have a crush on me. Now you're like, oh, now I know they do. Now we're gonna have a talk. No, I can feel that you do have an attraction for them. Because, you guys, that's the great foundation of a relationship is becoming best friends. I always think that a best marriage or partnership is this feeling of best friend sleeping over. So I like that. All right. So that's for your first one there, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. Thank you again. We'll circle back around here for your second one and maybe your third one if you get to hear this and give me your third question that did not come through. All right. All right. And then up next, we do have Lidiya. Thank you for your patience in getting to your reading here. So thank you for that donation. And when is the next job offer? Industry and role? You're referring to full-time permanent. Okay. I saw the clarification. So we'll look here. So what we have here, I'm just going to take a quick sip here. Got to keep my vocal cords all lubricated here. All right. So Lidiya, when is the next job offer for full-time permanent? Based on current energies, of course. Okay. And can we know about the industry? Industry, okay. The role within the industry. And anything else you need to know about this job search here? I feel like we want this one and that one's underneath it. Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right. Yeah, I kind of have this feeling of this energy, especially around the when, but it is so powerful. We have the Queen of Wands energy coming in. And the Queen of Wands, she rules with the King over the wand suit. But the Ace of Wands that she holds is the important piece of this message for that we're going to zero in on, because all the other royalty, the page, the knight, and the king, they usually have a little lizard on there, a salamander, that protects them from the heat of risk. The queen has a black cat. She doesn't have, and the reason why she doesn't is because, in addition to the fire of the suit that she helps rule over, all queens are given a second portion of cups. So she already has with the wand suit this connection to the spirit world, but the queen of the cups of the queens gives her this heart connection to the spirit world as well. So she doesn't need um protection from risk because she doesn't take risks. When she's at a fork in the road, she connects with the spirit world, dials up her eye in the sky, as I say, going, which way is for my most experience? This is what I want to experience. Well, if you want to experience this, this is the direction you go. She does it, it happens. And people are like, how do you do that? And she's like, do what? It's just a natural part of you. So this is about one, being aware where you're focusing your energy, and the other is following your heart, following your gut, and that will lead you to your next job offer. Now, when I'm talking about being aware of where you're focusing your energy, if you're focusing on, oh God, I need a job, I want a job, that's lack energy, because we only feel like we need something when we feel like we're missing something. We want something when we feel like we're missing something, right? Lacking something. And so that's lack energy. And the more we focus on that, we actually push opportunities away. If we're focusing on fear, I'll never find a job. What our energy says is, I love the fear of not finding a job. So please don't help me find a job. Right? It's like, oh God, no, that's not what I want to do. Well, the great news is that you can switch that energy and you just focus on gratitude. Like if you're in a part-time job now or a temporary job, you can focus on what am I grateful for in the job I have now, or what am I grateful for in the jobs that I've had in the past. That's have energy, right? Have and have had. So it's have energy. When you focus your energy on have, that attracts more have. When I focus on have not, then I get more have not, right? So that's what this is talking about here is this underlying energy, because the more I focus on that, the faster it draws things in. The more I focus on this other lower vibration of have not, the longer it takes, right? So it's um, looking at that energy, and we'll look at the when here based on current energy right now, but you can change that through gratitude. That's coming in here, right? Yeah, and I feel like there we have the 8 of cups, which is letting go of emotion that doesn't serve to help you move towards this dream come true energy. And this is emotional dream come true, not the mind. That's something else that's good to know about the job offer is what industry and role do you want? Not what can I get and what am I fearing and what am I supposed to, but what is your where's your heart leading you right now in your life? You get to choose. There's no wrong choice, and we limit ourselves with our mindset of, oh, well, I need to have this kind of experience and no job will hire me with this. And that has to be all this limiting belief, right? We get out of our head and into our hearts. It will lead you into something that feels like a dream come true, but you got to let your heart lead and get out of your head with all this because your head's going to take you into jobs that where you feel like you're existing, right? Not living. And we want to live, not exist. We don't, what is it? We don't live to work. We work so that we can live, right? And that's living comes from the heart, not from the brain. Um, yeah, I think that's what they want to know here. What was the other? We wanted to know the industry and the role here and then the other information. Well, have you ever thought of being a mortician? No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. You're like, well, no, actually, I thought about working at a funeral home. The death card, right? But the death card here is about an ending and a beginning, a rebirth. And this is what I was talking about here. The industry is changing industries, not doing something you've done before, because your brain has been taking you down this pathway of supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be. But your heart is going, no, I want to go in this, where instead of waking up in the morning going, oh God, I got to go to work, it's, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I wake up before the alarm, don't have to hit the snooze 10 times. I'm waking up and I'm excited to go live my dream kind of energy instead. So what is it that this dream is inside of you? And that's the discovery of it is important here because I feel like you're getting blocks and things are being delayed because you're trying to go down a road that we've always gone down before and we're done with that. Your soul, your heart wants to go here. And so there is a change of direction. Let's see if they give us any hints here. Yeah, you don't have to worry. You're gonna have the Wheel of Fortune. So you're going to find it. It's going to come in quickly. As soon as you make that change, this 8 of Wands is fast, 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 fast moving energy. And it does bring you this feeling here with the Wheel of Fortune of abundance. And that even your human goes, oh, I see how this is for me. The tune of for me, the four tune. So I like this changing and being able to do something that makes your heart leap for joy and want to sing and dance, not where it feels like it's caged, going, I'm just going along wherever the brain is taking me, right? So let's see what else these last cards are and see if it tells us anything else here for you. King of Swords is a job of education, not a job, but did I say job? I meant a card. Card of education. King of the King of Swords. Swords is thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, but it's also, of course, because it's the brain. It's thinking, education. They're the kings. Not only rule over their suit, they get a second portion of swords. That's why it's higher education and training. And I do feel like, let's say, just pulling it out of the air, like I want to become a nurse. And I'm like, "Oh, but I can't do that, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I'll be exhausted, I don't know, da da da." But it's like if the heart's like, "I wanna be a nurse," then it's like follow your heart and look into it. And when we look at it from limiting beliefs, yeah, we're because our energy's focusing on it, we do push it away. But if we're like creator, universe, spiritual posse, I would love to become a nurse. Thank you for opening my eyes and open opportunities. I'm so grateful that that's where I'm gonna get there one way or another. So help me open up the pathways, show me how I can do it. And I'm so grateful. I'm excited because that's where I'm going to head. And then lo and behold, boom, you get a email or you overhear a conversation or you see an advertisement of, nursing school open up near you. And now they're offering, what is it called when uh like financial aid or you know l- uh, limited cost and blah 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 whatever, but there's like deals and different things. You're like, oh my god, I can totally do this, right? You're like, oh my gosh, give me the phone, or I'm going to sign up online or whatever. But I feel like if it requires education or training or whatever, don't let that limit you. There are ways, and you'll be excited about it because you're not trying to live someone else's dream. You're trying to live your dream, and you'll have excitement around it. Okay. Yeah, the sun, you got the victory. This is Leo, energy. Uh, Going forward boldly, having the courage of stepping forward to pursuing your dreams. Don't let it stop you. Don't give in to the brain going, no, 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 we need to do this. They will find every way to convince you that, oh no, all those other ways, no, my way is the right way. I'll show you all the proof. But when you start living from your heart, your mind will start supporting your heart and show you all the proof that follows the heart too. Yeah, and Queen of Swords. Balance of head and heart, but you have both the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So very much education and new training and pursuing a new industry. But it's your heart. You have to discover in your heart, where's your heart leading you? There's no right way or wrong way. There's no like, well, I don't want to let the universe down. They're like, there's no right or wrong. Just different choices, different experiences. What is it you want to do? How do you uniquely want to share this love in your heart with the world in your own special, unique way and pursue that? So I know that's, you were wanting more exacts and all that, and I get it, but this is like what spirit wants you to know because they're like, you're not going to get success moving down that old road because you have a dream that needs to be sought after at this time in your life. Now's the time, the death and the rebirth that's coming. And your fortune cookie here, yeah, unhappiness. We don't want to pursue unhappiness, right? 61. Unhappiness is frequently the result of an inability to live in alignment with the calling of our soul. That's when your heart and soul are calling you somewhere else, right? When this happens, our uneasy and challenging emotions are an indication that we need to listen to ourselves. This card asks you to have faith and to trust. Get still, meditate, listen to the voices of your heart, and open yourself to receive guidance. You can't make it up. So hopefully that helps, Lydia. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings. I'm excited for this change for you because it feels like you finally get to live and not just exist, right? All right. So many blessings to you. Okay, let me see where we're at here. Okay. And there. Okay. All right. So SUDESHNA, we are back for number 2 here for you. And let me just move this one out of the way here. Got your other timestamp. And so thank you for your second donation. And so let's take a look here. You want to know what is in store for this connection in terms of love and long term. Currently, very good friends like him. All right. So right now, so we've already we talked about how they're feeling and all of that. So now we're going to look at what's in store with this connection if you keep going where you're going now long term, right? So I feel like I'm going to do 2 small sets. So I'm going to do one if you keep going as just friends now and you don't speak up. And number 2 is if you speak up. Whoa, dun, 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 based on current energies, of course. All right. So if you just keep going as friends now, where does this connection lead to? If you don't speak up and you just kind of keep going along here. Let's see what happens here. Those? Okay. And then if you do speak up and say, hey, I want to take a risk, like the card was nudging you to head in, right? All right. And you have these for that. Okay. Yep. I love that the card is the Two of Wands. Which way will you choose? Two of Wands, power of choice card. Well, this or this. So if you choose just to stay going as things are now, yeah, the Queen of Cups. There's still the emotions continue to build and you continue to get closer and closer and closer with one another here. Yeah, the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is at some point, you will eventually not be able to stand it because the Ten of Swords is, I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of, expectations and what not to do and to do. I've got to do it. And you do make the choice with the Page of Wands to take action and move forward. So you eventually will speak up. You won't be able to take it at some point because the emotions are just going to be growing and growing and growing and growing and growing where you can't hide it anymore. You can't stand it anymore because you just are like, I'm going to explode if I don't share this. I got to tell you. I've got to, express my love. So I do feel like it will build and it will build and it will build and then you will do that. Well, this is, either case, if you do it now or later, this is what, based on current energy, what ends up happening here. Yeah, here's the Queen of Wands. Here's stepping forward and, sharing those feelings, right? Taking the action. All right. Can't make it up. I figured this was going to be here. I should have said it. You probably get the Lover's card, and you do. It does. They do feel the same way, and you guys do have a relationship based on all of this. Four of Wands, joy, celebration. It is a marriage card. Just saying. You've got the Eight of Pentacles, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the transformation of like a caterpillar relationship into a butterfly relationship. You get to see the reward of all the efforts that you've put in. You do have the Three of Swords, the fears, but this is more the fears of, because expectations equal disappointment with this. And I feel like the important thing why this card is coming, I don't feel like you're disappointed, not with all those other cards. But it's about letting go of expectations, letting go of, the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be. I think we talked about that already, right? About, no, I don't, it doesn't need to happen a certain way. It doesn't need to be this or that. Because then instead of the gratitude of the friendship and we love who they are and we like this about them, whatever, when we change titles, suddenly it starts sucking the life out of the relationship. I'm going to move these cards out of the way. And then I'm going to explain that because a visual is very important. Let me just put these back in here. Because, when we meet someone new, no matter what, romantic, friends, whatever, we don't have any expectations on who they are, right? Because we didn't know them before, and so we don't have any expectations. So that looks like this. So this is who they are. We're like, wow, because we have zero expectations. Look at all this abundance, right? We think, wow, this is amazing. Look how abundant this connection is with them. And then maybe even with friends, we might gain a little bit of expectation of what a friend should do and shouldn't do, what they should say and not say. So the friendship might lessen a little bit, not be as amazing as it was when we didn't have expectations on them. But friendships kind of stay here, right? And maybe we have like long-term best friends, we have expect more, and there's less of this newness feeling. But let's say you're friends, and we have that for a while, like you said, 4 to 5 years, right? But in our little human brains, we have all these rules, those expectations on what a relationship with someone we're dating is becomes less. Then, because we're dating exclusively, right? And then let's say we get engaged, more expectations. Then we get married. Bam! Suddenly, why did they change? Why are they not being the amazing person we are when we met them? They still are. We still are. But when we have expectations that change, it starts sucking the life and makes us our perception of the abundance we have in a relationship. It dissipates, right? So it's important to do that. So I feel like that's what they have here for you. Wow, 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 boom, boom, boom. And then the final of the art of manifestation is going to be your card. And it says, learn to say no.
No.
And I like this because it says, saying no is an act of love. When we say a healthy no to an abusive situation, whether this is in response to another person or to ourselves, we're setting limits and establishing healthy boundaries. A healthy no is saying yes to life. Give yourself permission to say no. And I like this, but I don't feel like this is no to this relationship. I feel like this is saying no to those expectations because they're like all this, well, but no, you know, like but
N-O. No.
say no to those expectations, and just go. You know what? I'm going to focus on gratitude for who they are, and just see are they interested in taking things more and more and more. Um, even and sometimes it doesn't even need to be like saying anything. Your heart changes and you're like, you know what? I'm going to allow myself to express my heart to them more and more and more and not say expectations, whatever. I'm just going to allow this friendship to grow however it will, you know, whether it is, grabbing their arm and walking and, come here and just walking closer. And they're like, wow, and there's like this things change, things just organically grow to where things just naturally happen too. This, well, I have to officially announce I want to be more than, eh, no. We can just say, you know what? I'm just going to start sharing my love and let it flow and see where it goes if you want. Or if you're like, no, I need to know before I do it, then do what you need to do, right? But I love this for you. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. And I don't know what your third question is. So if I don't get it, again, I mentioned this in your first one. If I don't get your question before I end the stream, please still send me an email. My email address is in the description box at the bottom. And I will do your third question as a separate little private video and send you the link or whatever. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right. So that is what they have for you for that one. All right. And then Moonlight, we are back to your second one here. Let me put that timestamp here and remove this one here. All right. So thank you again for all your donations. You're always so generous. I appreciate that. All right. So what is R's energy towards you today? Will he keep contacting you in the days to come in this next week? All right, let's take a look here. All right. Let's take a look here with R. What is R's energy towards you today? Rar, rar, rar. R, R, R. Okay. And then will he keep contacting you in the days and the weeks to come? All right. Wow. I know I shouldn't say things before I show you the cards. That's mean. But wow. 5 of Swords. Conflict, 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 right? I just, and underneath that, I just feel like, yeah, be done with it. Be done with communication with the 10 of Swords. Um, and I know, like you said, you guys are a group, you're of the same friends and different things like that. And but like you said before, I don't think you don't have to contact them. You don't have to, deal with them, right? But what are their feelings towards you today? Well, in the moment, there's, love and joy and happy feelings towards you in this moment, but they just feel bipolar, right? And not judging bipolar, but it is. It's like, wow, it's a fact, it's like you have to kind of have to be hyper sensitive to who they are. How are they feeling in this moment? Because any second, whoosh, they could be in a different one. Oh, whoa, 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 right? King of Swords, very much in their head and disconnected from what? From the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they're thinking about how to connect with you here in the future, a future um, opportunity. I feel so unstable when I connect with their energy. And that does feel like that bipolarness, right? It doesn't take much to switch me into a different mood, you know? A simple hint of rejection, a simple hint of something, there's all these triggers. It's like if you can picture in your mind, if you've ever seen these where they have a room full of mouse traps. All it takes is a little feather, snap, 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 and although it is everywhere, you're like, oh my God, I do not want this. And so I can choose not to interact with it, right? It can be slower and slower in responding, shorter, shorter in response, um, vagueness, you just start disappearing from the energy that you're investing into it, right? Even though it's like, well, but, it's like, no, it's not healthy for you, and this 10 of swords is about ready to be done, right? Will they keep contact you in the days to come? Depends on the moment. The chariot card, the ever changing choices, right? Depends on which horse is leading, the dark horse or the white horse, the positive higher energy or the lower energies. You know, I do feel like they do. If you don't do anything, they will. You got the magician stepping into your power, and the Six of Cups. This is that childish energy we talked about, right? The ones that they don't understand. What do you mean? No, I don't care. It's like a child wanting to go to the zoo or, let's say, I want to go play video games at the arcade. Well, I don't feel good or whatever, but I want to go. All they cares about what they're getting, not about how you're feeling, right? And that's not good. That's selfish. Sorry, my band-aid is peeling off here. Shedding. And it is peeling off the band-aid. Just rip it off. That's funny that they had me notice that. Rip off the band-aid. Just be like, I prefer not to really interact with you a whole lot. I need my rest. You don't even have to say it that way. Just I need my rest. I need this. So if I don't respond, it means I'm resting and sleeping, and I'll get back to you eventually, and just take time, not like give yourself permission not to respond to stuff. And if it's in person, you can just don't invest energy into their interactions. You don't have to accept any battle that you're invited to, right? Yeah. Balance. See things from a higher perspective, So I like this. I feel like they will continue to contact you until you um, put an end to your investment in it, right? And um, and that's the whole thing is not responding. Well, what my friends think, they know them. You don't need to your friends, the friends who know you and your friends who know them, they know. They're like, "I don't blame you. Don't interact with them," kind of energy. I've had several different friends and different things where they would send me, you know, screenshots of the text that they had. "Oh my god, this is the conversation we had." I go, "I thought you broke up with him." "I did. He won't leave me alone." And I'm like, "Well, why are you responding back to him?" Because they'll send me like they have these long explanations of why they did what I this is why I did what I did. And you can see that they're just baiting and oh wow, I threw out a little thing and I got a response from you. Now I've got you engaged in a conversation instead of silence. Well, I don't want them to show up at my work upset or whatever. I go, if they do, just, tell your management, "I'm sorry, I told them not to come here, I can't control them." I might have to, like, here in the United States, I might have to put a restraining order on them. Do I need to do that? That's the next. I'm afraid they're gonna hurt me. Well, if I'm gonna walk around in fear, then maybe I'm better off on the other side anyway, right? But if I'm gonna live a fearful life, that's not a life at all. So it's about, really stepping into our power. We don't have to do it in a mean way. We don't have to say it like that was, "No!" We can just be like, "I just can't. I can't. I need this for me. I'm exhausted. I gotta have space from everything." And if they're like, "Well, too bad, da 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 da," then they get what they want, right? Your fortune cookie is 777, if that's a number that's appropriate for you or means something. It's good luck, contentment, prosperity, abundance, spiritual waking, divine intervention. There you go. The candle work, right? Psh, we're gonna do the candle work to have this energetic separation. And if there's something else I do called a hedge, and I have information down in my description box if you want me to do it for you. It's a service I offer, but basically what it is, and your energy too. You can pick something that represents you, and then get a necklace or a mandala, whatever represents a hedge, and you can put a little object inside that represents them because they're in the hedge of this energy with you, and then you just energetically go, "I'm activating this hedge around me of love and light that only higher vibration can be near me. And if anything that's around me is of lower vibration, it has a choice to transform to higher vibration or it needs to get outside my hedge." And when you do that, and you can extend that hedge, then you move that little object physically outside of it, and then boom. You're not going, "Get out," but you're giving the this people or situations in your life, if it converts to higher vibration, yeah, you can stick around, but if not, pff, out you go. It can't stand to be in the presence of higher vibration. It needs to leave for its own sake. Okay, so this message is most likely to reach you during intense uncertainty. You'll come out winning from everything that may come your way. It's also a sign that you have much life experience and wisdom to share, yet you'll need enthusiasm and effort to get this message to others. So that's for something else for later, but I feel like that the hedge is an important thing. All right, so that's what they have for you, Moonlight. Hopefully that helps. So many blessings to you. All right, let me move this over here. All right. So I'm just going to move this over here. So Sudeshna, I don't have your third one yet here. So we'll continue on. Let me move these last two donations. Thank you guys so much. Donations do take a little bit longer because we do dive deeper into those. And then after that, once we start the free readings, they'll be a little bit faster, of course. All right. So sonali thakur, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Okay. So sonali, thank you so much for your donation. And you wanted a general love reading. Let's see what spirit has for you right now. Okay. What else? All right. I love it. Bottom of the deck, the Lovers card. Love? Well, here we go. We're talking about all about love. Underneath that, too, we have the Star card, which is like a dream come true energy. So we'll find out what all these energies are about. What is this about the dream come true? I do feel here we've got the Hanged Man, too, which the Hanged Man is about. With these three major arcana, there is this transformation around what my dream come true regarding a lover or love is. And it's about seeing it from a different perspective, a higher perspective. So there is clarity that's coming in regarding this for you. We'll find out maybe more of what that means, probably, with these other cards. So the first three cards that came out together, you got 3 and 2 and 2 and 2. You've got the Emperor, Aries energy. That makes sense. This is, again, the figuring out about what you want, the Queen of Swords, which represents balance between head and heart, but also what's the ideal partner? And then the Death card. Yeah. Endings and beginnings, transformation of all this. So, again, the message really repeated. In case I didn't look at the bottom of the deck, the first three cards are pretty much reinforcing this. And what this means. So the Emperor has a lot of advisors, a lot of people telling them who, like in this case, who you should be with. You need to have a partner. You need to, have a king or a queen or of an equal, and for the kingdom, for the sake of the empire. And they need to be this, and they need to do that. No, they need to be this. No, they need to be that. All these differentiating opinions about what love should look like for you, and you're like, all right. Growing up, that's what we're inundated with so many of those thoughts and those beliefs and opinions that everyone has had. So we took on those opinions. We have a boatload of them, and now we're trying to find love, and it's like, I don't know, but they want this is who I'm supposed to be with. I don't know, and this is what's happening is you're like, all right, everyone, clear the throne room, leave all your opinions in that box by the door, and then you're sitting on your throne of your life and you're going, what do I want? Not what I think I want. What does my heart want? Truly getting clear of all that and sitting that and deciding what kind of love do I want? Whittling away all these expectations of who they're supposed to be, who they're supposed to be in the relationship, what the relationship is supposed to be like, how it's supposed to start, how it's supposed to go, how it's supposed to proceed, what is it supposed to bring me? Who am I supposed to be in the relationship? It's exhausting when we get lost in all that stuff, right? So this clarity of what the dream come true of the perfect person for me is. People all have their opinions on who they're supposed to be, but I have my own, and this is the clarity around what's coming in here for you. You do have you have the 4 of Wands, you have the Marriage card that comes in here, and the 8 of Cups, which is walking away from emotions that don't serve you anymore. But I feel like this is emotional beliefs around marriage and what it's supposed to mean and supposed to feel, and even the emotional connection we have to what marriage means about us. Like, if I never get married, what does that mean? It means I'm worthless and I'm unlovable and blah, blah, blah. That's all that crap from the outside world we live. But if I can sit in this and go, if I don't meet anyone the rest of my life, I have all the love I need inside of me already anyway. Doesn't mean I don't want love, but I don't need it. And from the outside world, it's just above and beyond extra. It'll overflow because I'm finding the love I've been looking for inside here. And then, so a wedding, a marriage, all the other stuff, all that outside world stuff isn't real. It's all opinion. I define my worth by this love that I have inside of me. This is what this energy is saying here. And once we take away all this attachment to what a marriage means, what a ceremony means, what, being with someone or not being with someone means, we get to live instead of freaking out and on this mad search to, make sure I find this. Instead, I get to live life And while I'm living life, while I'm living my passions, then I meet someone who's living their passions, and you're like, "Wow, you like this too?" And yeah, oh my god, and you're having this great conversation about this thing that you love to do, and then before you know it, you're like having coffee together, and before you know it, you're having dinner, and before you know it, you're doing all this other stuff together. Before you know it, you're married. So it organically, sorry, I'm falling off my chair. Um, organically, it organically grows instead of feeling like it's a quest to find love in marriage. It's I'm living life, and it comes to me that way. I kind of feel like this is the energy that they're bringing in here. Yeah, because with the Four of Swords, when you let go of expectations and you get out of your mind and you live life, the wheel of fortune unfolds, the tune for you. What is meant for you will never pass you by, and um, can either be a arduous journey feeling like it's like, oh, it's a job trying to find love, or it's a wonderful, exciting adventure doing all sorts of fun stuff and finding, and it's an easier route when you're following that. Interesting, right? You have the Ace of Swords and the Nine of Swords, yeah. And this is again this letting go of the expectations, the nightmare and the insomnia. The Ace of Swords is seeing things from a higher perspective. um, 9 plus 1 is 10. The 10 of swords is the end. I'm sick and tired of trying to live up to everyone else's expectations. The world comes to you saying, Sonali, this is who you're supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be. You must do all this stuff we're telling you. And you say,
No means no.
I have to use this. That's it. You tell them, no, I get to be who I want to be and with who I want to be. And I'm going to live life and I'm going to happen upon them at the perfect timing. I'm trusting the creator that they're going to bring me the perfect person in the perfect timing in the perfect way. And I'm not going to stay at home waiting for them to be delivered through the mail. I'm going to be out living life and doing things I love. And in doing that, that's where I meet them. I'm bumping into them. So hopefully that makes sense. I feel like that's what they have for you right now. And your fortune cookie from the angel number oracle. Let's see what we have here for you. It's up to you. 10 10. There's that 10. 9 plus 1 is 10 10. So this message here. Joy, movement, self-realization, unconditional love, taking action. So it's time to put those long cherished ideas into action. You will soon come into contact with the appropriate individuals, circumstances, and resources. Eventually, you will experience joy as well as brand new opportunities. Trust in the process. Don't try to control the process by searching for love. Instead, express your love and your passion for life. And that's where you'll find them. Right. So that's what they have for you, Sonali. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Maria P., you are up. Let me grab your timestamp here. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate that. Thank you for doing one donation. You're so sweet. I love that. And I think you did have, yeah, so you do have also a free reading. It's like the second to the last one I'll do. So you'll have a second timestamp down in the free readings too. So be sure to check that out for your additional reading as well. All right. So Maria, thank you for your donation via Z PayPal. Let me just check something real quick here. I'm so sorry. I just want to verify. Where is it at? Here it is. Nope. Okay. All righty, ready. So we'll dive in here and find out what are Wally's feelings and thoughts towards you today. All right, there we go. Thank you. What else? All right, that one. Okay. Like that one. These are down below. Okay. Thoughts and feelings. And then what's coming for you in Wally's relationship? Based on current energies, what does Spirit want you to know here? Okay. want this one here. Okay. We are on summer break already. Why does Wally want to meet your kiddos? Oh. Okay, we got this, we got this, we got this. Okay. And then updates on the dark side. That always cracks me up. It's like Darth Vader, right? Okay. And then what's coming for you at work this week? All right. And those two. Whoa, that was loud. All right. So thoughts and feelings towards you today. Got the Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords. One piece of this, there is this the Four of Wands is joy and celebration. It's the marriage card though. And the Seven of Swords is there. That's conflicting energy, and it's like thievery and but it's like conflicting thoughts with marriage energy. And what I mean by that is like I feel like they're sensing disappointment from you, and this can be all in their head, or it can be that they're really picking it up from you, that, this marriage isn't ending fast enough and things aren't moving fast enough. And so they feel like especially with it being like a year, right? You're like, they're like, wow, I feel like are you losing patience? And there's some fear in this around that it's not happening fast enough. And it's something that's happening today that's just making them feel that way. So I don't know if well, if you listened at the beginning of this morning's stream, the Mercury, our planet of communication, and thinking and thought process moved into Cancer. Very emotional energy. We got Jupiter, the expansive planet, moving into Cancer as well. More focus on emotional expansion. We've got a full moon on Wednesday in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. More expansion of emotional energy. So some emotion is being triggered, and the sense they're processing and doing more from their heart than from their head. We all are going to be here for a while, and I feel like they're like starting to think of things like that. Really, it's bubbling up today. That I'm taking too long. This is taking too long, and you're disappointed, and there's some fear of you being disappointed in them with that. But so be aware of that, and that's good to know. And if you're like, yeah, I do feel that way, maybe change your energy to gratitude for what you do have, right? Um, because it could be an ultimatum. You need to leave them or be with me. They're like, I can't do right now. Bye. You're like, oh. So it's like, okay, that fear you have for yourself, it's like, you know what? I'm going to be grateful for the time that we do have. And I love that we've done this and we've done this, and start all that gratitude again, right? Because they do with the Lover's card and the Three of Pentacles. They do think of you as this very, very important person in their life, that you are their lover. The Three of Pentacles is, being true and authentic. And they do want that. They do eventually want this everything, sorted out. They want that for themselves too, right? So I feel like that's important for you to know for today. What's coming towards you in your guys' relationship? You do have the Ace of Wands. More spark, more action towards your relationship, more activity. The Seven of Pentacles. Patience. Last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. But I do feel like there's miracle grow being, if you've ever given a plant miracle grow, there is faster growth with all of this. Ace of Cups. Yeah. Like this new renewed sense of love and passion. Queen of Pentacles, yeah, abundance and harvest energy here. So I do feel like there is an expansion of the emotions, expansion of the passion, expansion out even into the physical world with the Pentacles energy here. So I do feel like there will be some um, a big period of growth. Like you said, when you give a plant miracle grow, like wow, look how fast it grew. I feel like there is a significant growth and this feeling of closeness and feeling of importance that you sense and that you also pick up. When you're asking, you're on summer break, why does he want to meet your kiddos? Four of Pentacles, solid foundation of home. I like this. The Hangman, progression, transformation, seeing things from a different perspective. Yeah, and this adventure, a new part of your guys' adventure. And this is that progression. This is part of this, you know, moving things forward and they want to meet them because they're not afraid that they're not going to be a part of your life and that they wouldn't want to do that to children. So that they want to meet your children is because they're a part of you and he hears about them all and he wants to get to know them too. And I love that. Update on the dark side. Dun dun dun. Yep. Getting sick of it. The Ten of Swords. That's like, I'm just done trying to please. It's endings and beginnings energy, and it is there, I don't want to, I'm tired and exhausted of trying to live up to all these expectations and doing all these things. So they're getting to the point of I've done so much and I'm trying to do so much, but I'm exhausted and I need to um, start bringing this home. I'm starting to wrap it up, right? Like they say, and when people are like on stage, wrap it up. It's time to close this down. So they are getting to that point here. What's been delaying, of course, Six of Cups is their own children, grandchildren, children, whatever. But it is this, you know, that's why they're so careful because they do care about what their child or children, what family feels about them. So they're wanting to do it in the proper way, not a douchebag way. Seven of Cups. Yep. Six of Cups, Seven of Cups. There's a lot of emotions that are needing to come to completion. Yeah, that Empress, they act like a ruler. It reminds me of the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. Off with their heads, off with their heads. I feel like there's that kind of instability that that's why there's so many emotions to handle gently because if not, you know, he'll lose his head, you know. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's good to understand why it's been taking so long because it is such a sensitive situation with that uh, character. What's coming for work for you this week? Oop, look, new opportunities, magician, dun, da, da, da. And the Seven of Wands. Yeah, standing true. There's something here about you standing out from the rest because it is about being up on a hill and being seen, you being true to your authentic self. And I like this for you. Of course, the magician is whatever you're focusing your energy on, also expands and moves into all of this too. So just be aware of that, with that coming in here. That if you're focusing on want and need and you're fearing or hatred for any individuals expanding, but if you're focused on what you're grateful for opportunities, excited for new opportunities, ask the creator once for new opportunities at work, and that's gratitude about all the things you love about your job, what you have loved about other positions in your job and other jobs. Love of job, since we're talking about work, and that brings in this wonderful energy around it too. But I do feel like there's something that happens with that Seven of Wands where you do stand out from the crowd. So there might be some recognition, or this might be where the opportunity arises for you as well. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie is here. And see what we got going on. Okay. And this says unique skills. You got skills. Did you ever see Napoleon Dynamite? You got skills. Life goals, mission, sense of self, honesty, important projects. It's that time of intense self development. Focus your mind on your craft. You already have what it takes to succeed, but practice makes you a master. It also serves to find your true purpose. Leveling up in your career or business is of priority right now. You can't make it up. I like this too for you, but it's a reminder that the life you're living is yours, that Wally is living their life, that you guys are sharing lives, but you're not becoming each other's lives. Just a good reminder as we close down your reading. All right. So that's what they have for you, Maria. Thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. So many blessings to you. All right. So that's it for the donations, unless I hear from Sudeshna for number 3. We'll keep that over here to the side in case I do. So we'll jump next into the free readings. These will go a little faster because they are 1 to 2 card readings. So we don't dive as deep into those. So we'll start those in a sec. I do need to run to the little boy's room real quick so that I can communicate clearly, but it'll be 2 seconds. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you so much. Much, much better. Whew, I can think clearly. All right. So thank you guys again for all your patience and getting to your free readings. I'm so blessed to be able to do this, and I'm so grateful for all your thumbs up, all your love and support. It does help spread the Zen love. So I do have 2 of my YouTube channel members. They will be up first, and then we'll start on the others as well. So Happy Pill, thank you for your donations earlier. I'll put that timestamp here. So you wanted a message from your spirit guides. Let's see here. What do they have for you right now? All right. These 2. All right. So we do have the Ace of Cups, which is this journey of self-love, and the Six of Swords, which is about leaving behind old ways of thinking, small t truths, and moving into higher ways of thinking, meaning those of unconditional love from above. Ace of Cups is the chalice, the Holy Grail. That's really us opening up, allowing that beautiful love from above to fill us up and overflow out to the world here. I feel like a big piece of this is realizing, and we might have mentioned a little bit this in your previous readings, but I feel like they're really emphasizing, if that's how you say the word, magnifying, putting a spotlight on that all of our interactions and relationships with everyone in the outside world is a reflection of our self-love. So if I feel low about myself, I'm going to have people reflecting that back to me too. If I disrespect myself, which I experienced this when I was disrespecting myself, boy, did I get good reflections showing me disrespect so I would see it. And they would not give up. They were going to show me it until I saw it. And boy, did I see it. That's good because it set me free. And that's good. So it's really realizing that the things that we get that are being reflected back from people, we can sit with and go, where does that exist in some way within me? And then we're like, there it is. And then I can set myself free. Then I don't need those teachers anymore, those mirrors. I get different mirrors for different things, right? And then also, as my self love grows, I attract people that reflect that self love back to me too. So I like this energy telling you you've been working on that, you've been seeing that those changes, but continue because it just gets more and more and more. The more we expand our self-love, the more we are able to give and receive love to the humans as well. Plus, we're receiving this amazing love from above. So win, 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 right? So I feel like that's the big message is the greatest thing you can do for you in any relationship you have with anyone in the world is to raise your self-love. And so I love that for you. All right. So that's what I feel is coming through right now. Happy pills. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Livier Vergara. Hello, hello, my dear. Let's put your time stamp in here. All right. So Livier, so you'd like to ask the plans that your mom has, will they turn out good for her in the future or will there be changes? All right. Let's take a look. So I'm just going to take a quick sip here. Semi-quick sip, sorry. Getting to the bottom, you don't want all that, especially since it's garlic tea. I don't want to smell like garlic, Then the vampires won't come around me. Just kidding. All right. Let's take a look here. Focusing on Mama's plans here. Will they turn out good for her in the future, or will there be changes? What can we know? Okay. All right. Yep. Didn't want that one. They want just these two. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like it will turn out well. We got the Page of Cups, which is a card of joy and celebration and heightened emotions in a good way. And the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of abundance. Meaning that they have enough and they're able to help others. So it's a good sign of prosperity and things working out good and a giving and receiving energy that comes in with this too. I do feel that there's going to be some extra support that comes in for her from the outside world because she's such a giving heart. Obviously, um, you inherited that huge heart of hers. And because of that, there are people that want to help out and will help out because of that generosity and because of what she's put out, her energy she's put out, she does get that back to her as well. So I feel those are good cards to come in for that. So hopefully that helps. That's what's coming in, Livier. So many blessings to you. All right, let me just make sure here. Nope, that was not. I thought that was coming in from SUDESHNA. I want to get on the other reading. All right, so now we're moving on to the other free readings. Let me just bring some of these over, and I will when I'm done. I do have the list in the description box of the video right now of the order in which I'm going, but after when I'm done, I will also pin a comment with the timestamps, and so those will be um, within 45 seconds after I finish the stream. I'll post that there. All right. So up first, we got Great Quartz. So Great Quartz. Let's grab your timestamp here. So Almighty Great Quartz. What sort of mindset should I have now that you've moved? We'll see. We'll see how we can phrase that for spirit, because spirit doesn't have a should. They're like there's no wrong choices, there's no wrong mindsets. There's just different choices and mindsets that bring different outcomes and different experiences, and they don't seem as right or wrong, just different. So we'll how about we ask it like, what mindset would bring you the most joy and most joy into your life? We'll look at it that way. And if you want something else, of course, we could always look at that later too. But I feel like the mindset now is like, what mindset will bring me the most enjoyment and joy of life? All right. Yeah, we've got all the two nines. You got the hermit. Your mindset is be alone. No, it's that's not totally that. But you got the nine of swords and the nine, the major arcana nine, the hermit. Now, the nine of swords is, the nightmare and insomnia card. But when you get this combination together, of course, the hermit has the lantern, which is spirit and your higher self shining a light upon things. And so the mindset now that you've moved, this almost feels like this relief of fears. Um, you have this opportunity to be to yourself and connect, and now you have the silence. It feels like the quiet to be able to reflect and release and free yourself, that shine this lantern upon what is it that um, is below the surface that I can bring up and free myself from old thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve me anymore. What fears do I have that are tugging, like, you know, how like you can see little kids sometimes, mom, 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 or dad, 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 dad. And you're like, yes, not like what, but it's like, all right, my little inner child is, tugging. And I feel like the mindset here is spend 90% of your time on focusing on what you're grateful for and on unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and, that energy. And 10%, 10% on the little nudges. So it's all about focusing on joy, 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 because that'll bring you more joy. Focusing too much on lower vibration and our shadow grows our shadow. And we're like, no, it's like, I think it was RuPaul. Someone asked RuPaul, what do you do, with all the stuff that's going on in the world with all of the, trend stuff and, against drag queens and all this kind of stuff, right? And I love that they said, well, you look at it, but you don't stare at it. And that's what this is about. You look at those things, but you don't stare at them. And I feel like that's the attitude, the mindset is I'm going to focus 90% of my time on joy and 10% on what is demanding attention. I don't need to go do everything in my life. I'm going to focus my energy on growing this, not that. So I like that. That's what they have for you, great courts. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Victoria, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. There we go. And Victoria Huber-Ramirez, what does spirit need for you to know at this time in regards to work? All right. So, what does spirit feel like is the best for you to know? Because they don't have any needs for us. They're like, we're fine with whoever you are. They think you're perfect in the moment, right? So they don't have any need for us to do this or do anything. They're like, we're in a perfect existence. We're just the ones that think it's not because of brainwashing, right? Conditioning we've had. So we'll ask the question in the energy of what does spirit feel it's best for you to know right now in regards to work to bring you the most enjoyment in your life, right? So let's take a look here. None of those. What do they do? All right. Evidently, it is those. They came flying out of here. Yeah. I like this. You've been putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears with the Eight of Pentacles. And this is about the apprentice moving to the master, about the wheels of the outside world are turning that are going to bring in here for you this with this Page of Pentacles a new heightened opportunity. And you've been growing, you've been focusing on things. So the work part of your life, the job, the career, it's been growing and you've been growing, but I don't feel like the job has been growing with you. It's like the 8 of Pentacles is like, people agreeing to go into the cocoon, and after the cocoon, we're going to be butterflies, and we're going to go do butterfly things. And this is your job. Your job might have been telling you, well, if you do this and this and this, that will get you this, or this is where you can go. And you've been doing all this stuff and you've been changing, but the job hasn't. And I feel like you've outgrown it because now the job is still a caterpillar, lower vibration, and you are raised where you're a butterfly and you're like, this is the caterpillar company. I need a butterfly company. And that's why I feel like there's this new opportunity that's going to be coming with this Page of Pentacles that is more in alignment with who you have become and not who you were. So you've changed. You no longer fit into this anymore. You're too big to fit there. You need to move to something that's more in alignment with where you are. So I feel like this is what's important for you right now. So there you go. Boom, boom, boom. Excuse me, burping up tea. All right. So many blessings, my dear. All right. And then we have Tasty One 2000. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Thank you for your patience in getting to your reading here. And I love your little symbols you have around your name. They just don't transfer over good into my notes here. Can you trust your boyfriend to stay faithful to you now that he started his new job? He's cheated on you before this way, and it's hard for you to just feel safe. Yeah, we'll take a look here. Usually when people go, can I trust humans? No, you can't. Because human characters that we are, when we feel unsafe and out of control, we revert. When our inner child feels unsafe and out of control, we revert to our 2-year-old self and pet hissing cat, which means we boot out the intelligent, compassionate, loving side of us, and we become a 2-year-old who is selfish and wants all the toys and does stupid, unloving, uncompassionate things, right? So when they ask, "Do I trust humans?" No, because we are fickle humans where at any moment we could flip into our fight or flight and do stupid stuff. So we're like, "Can you trust humans?"
No, 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 no.
But what do we need to trust them with, right? We'll ask specifically here based on current energies, are they wandering? But there's a bigger message that comes in here for you that Spirit wants to bring while they have your attention, which is, you know, our relationships and experiences with people in the outside world reflect back for the things that we want to see about ourselves. For me, I was cheated on several times, various relationships too. And it's because I grew up with the mindset because of my mom was cheated on that people cheat. And I was afraid I was going to end up in relationships with people who cheated. Guess what? I drew them to me and experienced cheating people. Ta-da, we're that powerful, right? Woohoo! But it also, there was a deeper, that's the human experience, but there's a higher experience because it also, on reflection, um, Spirit was, well, why do you think you experience these relationships? And I'm like, because, men are bastards. I'm just kidding. Hopefully that's okay to say on YouTube. But they're like, well, no. And I'm like, okay. Uh, so what? They're like, well, you know, if everyone's a mirror for you and they were cheating, and I'm like, well, I was always faithful. I never cheated. And they're like, but if your self-worth is to come from self-worth and you were defining yourself by their actions or non-actions, their words or silence or whatever, then and I'm like, "Are you saying I was cheating on myself with them? Thus they reflected back cheating back to me?" And they're like, "Bing, bing, bing." And I had to sit with that because I was like, "What? Wait, 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 wait." And after it sank in of going, "Wow, when I came back to me and defined myself by me, then one, I don't allow other people's actions to define my worth. And the heartache I thought I felt was fear of not being lovable, because if I'm not enough to keep them from wandering, that means I'm worth nothing. It's like, no, this isn't about me. Their actions are not about me. Their actions are about what's going on inside of them. That little scared inner child doing all sorts of things, thinking that's what it needs to feel safe and in control. And that has nothing to do with us, right? And so there is the great energy and great awareness that comes through these things that are for us, that are so much more beyond a person doing something to us. When actuality, everything that happens in our life, even cheating people, is for us, to show us what these fears and these things are within us, to set us free so that we won't be controlled by it anymore, by that fear. So that's an extra in addition to this. But let's take a look here and see, are they, based on current energies with this new job, are they wandering? I know. We really want to know, right? All right, let's take a look here. Yeah, I feel like here with this Nine of Swords, that represents the fears. That's the Nightmare and Insomnia card. And the Hierophant is our higher self teaching us and guiding us and showing us our fears and releasing it. Um, I don't feel like with this, because they're referring back to the lessons that we just did. So they were going to bring me around to it anyway with this energy of, this is about you learning about your fears, not about their actions. But it is saying that the more we're focusing on our fears, we grow that, we attract that to us, right? If I focus on the gratitude around what I love about my boyfriend, what I love about who they are and what they bring and the things I've loved about them, then that grows. If I focus on fear of what they may do or have done, what I hate about them, or what I need them to be or should be, all that just draws in the things we fears and repels away the things that we're really wanting. So this is about, um, not about what they will do or not do, whatever. Like, this is about, you're going to draw the teachers over and over. Trust me, I know. You're going to draw the teachers over and over and over to you in all sorts of ways around betrayal, as long as we betray ourselves and looking for our worth outside of us. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, tasty one. Um, I okay, right now, I don't feel like there's plans for it, but our energy, what they're telling me is, like, it's just a matter of time that you will draw it back to you again if it's still existing and circling around inside of us, right? So hang in there, my dear. Definitely, you're not alone. Like I said, I've been through that a lot, but I'm so grateful to be on this side of it, having experienced it through uh, a few relationships. Um, I love learning things really, really good. All right, hang in there. All right. Then we have Ankita. We're back to you. So thank you for your donations earlier, and this is for your free reading. So you want to know how, oh, that's right. How will your ITT classes experiences be? It starts tomorrow, and I'm very afraid. All right, we'll take a look here. I liked when they were asking, "What are you afraid of? What's the worst that could happen?" Right? Yeah, you have a great opportunity. The Ace of Pentacles, great, great opportunities. The Five of Wands represents the change of energy. They're like, it's going to be very quick where your energy changes from low vibration fear into higher vibration. I got this. Because it's always the newness of things that freaks out our inner child, the unknown. What if I fail? I'm like, what if you fail? You can take the class over. What will people think? People are going to think what they think anyway. Who cares, right? The people who know you and won't judge you. People who don't know you that judge you, who cares? They don't know you. They're making judgments with not enough information. That's poor opinions. Why do I care about them anyway, right? So you know that the people who really know you are going to support you, and the people who would judge you don't know you, and who cares, right? But it feels like there with Ace of Pentacles, that is abundance, that is success. You just need to, your energy will change very quickly as you get used to, okay, I see this now. This isn't, I can learn anything. And you know this about yourself. You could learn anything when you put your mind to it. Like you have everything else, you know? You wouldn't be to this point where you're able to go do all these classes if you haven't succeeded in learning all the other stuff you have, right? You felt that way when you started math and you started, languages and sciences and everything else that you learned growing up. You're like, yeah, that's true. You're like, okay, good point. Never mind. I'm going to go have a blast. So just trust you're going to do fine. And I love that for you. All right. So that's what they have for you, Ankita. So many blessings to you. And then Hot Sun, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. And Hot Sun, hello. You want to know what are Matt's feelings, intentions, and next actions towards you in the bottom of the deck? This sounds familiar. I did complete a similar reading if it's the same person. So just in case, you might be asking for more information and want just it again. But so I'm going to pull cards now too. But if you did, then go check out my other streams. I have pinned comments and you can find it and go listen to that one too for more information if you haven't already. All right. Just want to make sure. All right. So what are their feelings, intentions, and actions? And bottom of the deck. All right. So you have the 9 of Cups. Is on the bottom of the deck here. So 9 of Cups energy. And let's see what the other 2 cards are. You've got the 10 of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Swords, whack, 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 is an energy here with the 3 of Pentacles of wanting to be true to one's authentic self, right? That's what a big piece of the 3 of Pentacles is I got to be me energy. The 10 of Swords is like, I'm done trying to please everyone else and doing what everyone else thinks that they're supposed to be and should be and need to be. And who am I supposed to be? And who are they supposed to be? I need to be true to me kind of energy that's coming in here with that. And the 9 of Cups in combination with all this has to do with like, what is my dream come true? I'm trying to get out of my head and into my heart to find out who it is that I want to be. What is this, energy? And so when we're talking about their feelings, intentions, and next actions towards you, it just feels like with the 10 of Swords, and this, like I said, this can be completely even before they met you, they had this long list of supposed to be, should be's, need to be's, have to be's that they already think everyone expects of them. They're like, I don't want this. I don't want anyone that expects this. And you're like, what? Who's expecting that of you? You are. And you're like, when have I said that? And you're like, well, don't you? Because they were, conditioned when they were younger growing up that, oh, this is what someone always wants from someone else. And it's so much, it's so extreme, and I gotta be me. I'm tired of being contained and caged. I gotta be me. I've got to live my dreams with this 9 of Cups. And I feel like they're just in this place in their life that, and I don't know if this feels familiar. Is this the same kind of reading you got before? Because it's like they don't, it's not like it's specific towards you either. I feel like this is just everyone. I'm just tired of everyone trying to blah, 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 blah. And you're like, is everyone trying to do that? Well, and here they are. And that's what matters to them. This is their perception. This is how they're seeing the world. They're trying to be free from all this and be true to themselves. And I'm trying to figure out what my dream is. And so that's why I feel like feelings and intentions and actions are on hold because they're trying to figure out all of that right now. And that's the kind of energy I'm picking up right now, Hot Sun. So I'm not sure what the other reading was. Maybe I'll go check it out because I'm like, that feels familiar, but maybe it is different. I do so many readings, though. Sometimes they all mesh together. All right. So that's what they have for you, Hot Sun. So interesting. All right. Let me bring some more of these over here. Thank you guys again. I think it's starting to look really dark outside. Could open my blinds here. Ooh. Yeah, it's all dark out. Oh, it's a little bright, isn't it? That's all right. If it gets too bright, I'll close it back. I've been in the dark all day. All right. There we go. All right. So up next we have Swaroop Bobby. Let's get your timestamp here. Your correct timestamp here. There we go. So Swaroop, so last week you gave an interview for a new job. Will you get selected and receive the offer? All right. Let's see here, based on current energies. Okay, we got that. Don't want those or those, but I do want this one. Okay. So will you get the job in the selection here? You've got the strength card here, Leo energy, and the 10 of swords. The 10 of swords is an ending and a beginning type of energy. Swarp, I feel like when we do your like your job readings, that we get this message over and over, and I get to the point where I feel bad. I'm like, because it feels like this is an ending and a courage of stepping into something unexpected and not going in like a direction that I've always gone into and headed towards. Because the 10 of swords is like, I'm done trying to live up to the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be, the must be, the thing that the mind has always been drawing me to. And the strength card of this Leo energy is I am stepping out and I'm having the courage and the strength to go against what I've always done and step out into something new. So I don't feel like this job, the energy I feel anyway, feels like it's something that we've always tried to be in and thought we needed to be in, and I just feel like the doors are being kept closed because you are in this point in your life to change direction. And so as we continue to knock on these doors, we continue to have them be closed or not open because what's for your highest experience is to go in a different direction, something that you've wanted to do but you haven't been able to do because it's like, "Ugh, it's scary, I know, to go off into something new." Because I like to eat, right? I like to have my stuff, but I feel like this is what is coming through for you right now. So hopefully that resonates for you, right? So many blessings to you. Right, and then we have Ashish. You are up. Let me grab your timestamp here. So Ashish, messages from your future wife. All right, let's take a look here. So coming in from, this is the future self of your wife. So let's take a look here. The one based on right now with energy. That's the amazing thing, is because there's all these possibilities based on all of our decisions, all our energy, and all their decisions and all their energy, that person evolves and changes throughout as we move forward, right? It can adjust and change. And so this is based on current energy, this future self of your wife, what they're telling you here. Oh, I love it. Wow. Two of Cups, Two of Swords. I like this. The Two of Cups is this relationship energy, emotional choice, but I feel like that's the main card, is them saying, "Yes, yes, here I am." But then Two of Swords is the power of mental choice. And I feel like the message they have for you is, in the decisions that you're making going forward, it's like they can see in hindsight the things that can change, and they can kind of guide you and go, for an even heightened experience between us, if in making your decisions going forward, you close your eyes and open your heart and ask your heart where it wants to go and allow it to have a seat at the table in addition to your mind, that it will take you in this direction that's like very, very different. So I like that. For you, because it is this change of direction that takes you to even a heightened, deeper relationship with them. So as you're making decisions, get out of the head, or allow your heart to have a seat at the table. Don't let the mind lock the conference room door and not let the to the heart, not let them in. Allow the heart to also have a say in it. That's funny. All right, so that's what they have for you, Ashish, right now. I'm sure we can ask more from them in the beginning, but that's the little message they're bringing through in this moment. Right, and then content, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So content, you'd like a general for the next 48 hours. Let me take a sip here from water. Let me move this back. All right. So content for the next 48 hours. What does Spirit have here for you? I like storms. I like watching the clouds roll in. All right. The next 48 hours. Wow, you do have some clarity coming in regarding relationships. The Devil card, Lover's card, two major arcana. So there's the shaky. Up was what the Devil card does. The Capricorn and Saturn energy that is the workhorse, is the workmaster, giving you a challenge that comes with a reward. It is about relationship, but I feel like it's more zeroing in the next 48 hours about emotional choices because, you know, every moment we do choose how we want to feel. And sometimes it doesn't feel like a choice. I know something happens and I feel this way, or something happens and I feel this way, yay. But the Devil card is challenge us to look at long held beliefs, right? And this is about our emotional beliefs, our emotional choices. So when we're growing up, we're given a lot of opinion about how we're supposed to feel through a variety of situations all the time, and they're reinforced. And we have several people telling us several different things. So we've got all of this, um, so when someone says that or does that, I'm supposed to feel sad. When someone does this, I'm supposed to feel mad. When someone does this, I'm supposed to feel resentful. When someone does this, I'm supposed to plot revenge or whatever. But this is about as over the next 48 hours, as emotions rise, go, is this the emotion I want to feel in this moment? And I feel like this is that challenge and this opportunity for growth to change cycles, change emotional cycles. So as you're feeling, let feelings be flags that something can be looked at and you can really look at and go, is this how I want to feel? And I can choose whatever way I want to feel. No matter what everyone says I'm supposed to feel, this is my heart. I get to choose. Mind your business, everybody, right? I get to choose. And you also aren't responsible for other people's emotional choices. Yeah, we can make it easier or harder for someone to choose a lower vibration or higher vibration emotion, right? If I'm telling someone, I think you're awesome and I love who you are, and easier to choose higher vibration. If I'm saying you're a jerk, I hate who you are, and you're an idiot, it's going to be hard for someone to choose higher vibration. But ultimately, it's still their choice. We're just responsible for our emotional choices and our actions, and no one else's. I feel like that's important for you to know over these next 48 hours, right? So that's what they have for you, content. So many blessings to you. All right, and then cat goddess. Hello. I know it took forever to get to your reading, so thank you for your patience and getting to your reading. And thanks for being a new subscriber. I love your sense of humor, so thanks for being here with us. You're definitely welcome to be one of the Zen friends. What does your spirit guide want you to know at this time? What do your spirit guides want you to know at this time? All right, let's take a look here. What would they like you to know right now? All right. This must be it. You got the Page of Wands and the Two of Swords. Just some great energies about the power of choice with the Two of Swords and the Page of Wands. This heightened, it's not just heightened awareness, but it almost feels like a upgrade that we all, whatever we focus on does grow and expand, right? So, where our focus is, our energy flows and expands. So if I'm focusing on lack and need and want or hate or any lower vibrational emotions or what I fear, I'm feeding and growing lack and all that stuff, right? Again, if also I'm focusing on higher vibration love, unconditional love, and joy and laughter and peace and gratitude and play, all that expands and things to be grateful for, and brings things in where this is repels the abundance out of our life. This attracts the abundance into our life. But I'm feeling like here with this Page of Wands, it's saying like the energy that's coming into your life right now is like putting your power of attraction on steroids. It's like, whoa, big ways it comes in, big ways it goes out. So being aware of that energy is really, really important with that. Because the Two of Swords is I get to choose. It's the battle between the head and the heart, the mind wanting to focus on all the rules and supposed to be's that it grew up with, and the heart going, I want to focus on this instead. So, really important energy and awareness around whatever you are focusing on is going to come in or leave in big and fast ways. So be aware of attention. And even if it's like on your cell phone, putting a little silent vibrating alarm for every, let's say every waking hour, remember your focus or whatever it is that you're like, oh, that's right. What am I focusing on? Let me bring it back to what I want. Because the outside world, it is a giant fear amusement park, a lot of opportunities to draw us out into fear. And so it's there and it could do that. So be aware. Beware and be aware. All right. So that's what they have for you right now, Cat Goddess. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Benita Bala, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Okay. You want to know how will Shawn feel about your dance performance at your cousin's reception on June 12th, right? Based on current energies, how will they feel about your dance performance? Okay. All right. Very this I don't know if they I'm sorry. I just have to laugh because it's like someone who doesn't appreciate dance, like they don't understand dance. They're like, well, you were balanced." You're like, "Why, thank you, I think." But, of course, they have the moon card here too, which is they love you to the moon and back, and there's this very nurturing energy here. Uh, but I feel like they don't understand it, and they're like, "Well, you didn't fall over, is that good?" Because I feel like it's like taking someone to an art museum that doesn't have an appreciation for art, and they show, like, the sculptor of something, they're like, "What do you think of that?" And they're like, "Is that part of the art?" And you're like, "Why are you here?" So I feel like they're supportive of it, and they're not gonna think poorly of it, but I just don't feel like they get, like, don't expect, like, a lot of, like, "Oh my god, I loved how you did this, and you pirouetted," and they're, using dance lingo or everything else. They're just gonna be like, "Oh, well, look good." And you're like, yeah, I you're not a dance critic, so I'm not gonna worry about it?" So I like that kind of energy. Just know that they love you to the moon and back, anyway, and they're like, "You could fall over and trip," and they're like, "That was part of it, right?" So it's funny. Anyway, that's what they have for you, Benita. So many blessings for you there. Oh my goodness. All right, let me bring some more of these over here. Whoops. Behave. Come here. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there. I appreciate all your love and support and your patience in getting to these readings, of course. All right, there we go. So Mika Khan, you are up. There we go. Got your timestamp there. So Mika, you want to know what is the story of Mahakal? I probably murdered that. My apologies. You were trying uh, the Mahakal. You were trying to read in your dream. Can you tell the story summary as accurate as possible? What can we learn from it? Okay. What is the story that you were trying to read in your dream? Okay. Let's take a look here. Let's see what Spirit brings in here. Okay, we got that one. And we got this one. Let's see here. Let's see how much we can glean from here. Oh, wow. Interesting. the story of the stars and the sun. There is this whew, this energy that just came in. Wow. Okay. It's like the story of beginnings and the rulers of the day and the night, and that it's all about this energy of it doesn't matter what where we're at as we circle around in the cycles of life, there is always light available. We just have to know where to look and to change our perception of how big something needs to be or not. And I like this because it's like the sun rolls the day and it's huge and it's glowing and you can't look at it directly, but the night has its purpose in both the moon and in the stars, that it allows us to be able to look up at them when the night comes. Because during the day, we can't, our human eyes can't look directly at the sun. But the dark times, the dimmer times, allow us to be able to look directly and at stars because of the distance, but also the moon when it reflects the sun. We can look at the moon without it blinding our eyes. So the story and doing with the sun and the stars and the bodies of the sky, that they're there for us to show us, to teach us. And I like this energy here of um, that about reflection, that everything that is outside of us is a reflection of the sun, whether it's in human form or in heavenly body, but it's all about reflection. Everything is showing us and is designed to teach us about ourselves. So I feel like that's the big thing with all of this stars and astrology and the stories of the planets, and that they're all putting on a play for us, just like each of us is a character in the play reflecting back for us to learn from each other. So that's what I'm picking up. Hopefully that helps. But that's what's coming in. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Carmel Damon, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Okay. So you want to know, what are KB's current feelings and intentions towards you? All right. And if you ask something about this similar, maybe this is someone else, but just to make sure, I did complete all readings. And so if you check previous streams, all of them have pinned comments with everyone's names with the timestamps next to them, so you can go directly to your readings too. So if you asked, I remember doing a reading for you, I'm not sure if this was it. Sometimes they all start to sound the same because I do so many. So I just want to make sure you know that if that was, I did complete that. All right. So what are KB's current feelings and their current intentions? Might have been someone else's name too, of course. So what are KB's? Their feelings, I don't know if they have feelings. The Devil card, Capricorn, um, Saturn energy is very much about thinking and mindsets and getting caught up in their head, and more so looking at, that type of what are my thoughts about you is probably a better question to ask than feelings for them, because it's all about analyzing and thinking, overthinking kind of energy. Um, Their intentions towards you, they do see you as the Queen of Pentacles, as the Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, uh, sensuality, the birthing of things. So they do see you, but this whole energy that I feel from them, Carmel, is like they would look at it more like I like their mindset is, I need someone to fill this position in my life. I'm taking applications, I'm doing background checks, I'm interviewing, and hey, you might be able to fill this position. Wow, thank you. I'm honored. Right? Where it's what our heart wants is that we're living life and we bump into someone and we're like, oh, wow. And we really hit it off and it organically grows. And they're like, I think you're so awesome. I want you to feel this. I want you to be this person for me. I want to spend all this time for you. It's not a position that they're trying to fill. It's I I want you as a part of my life kind of energy. Well, this is more the other side is their feelings and intentions is, well, you're a candidate, but you're not like the one. You're a candidate among some that they're feeling to fill this kind of position energy, right? What do you have to say to them, Carmel?
No, no, no. 1,000 times no.
So there you go. All right, that's what's coming in, Carmel. So many blessings to you. I love using that. All right. And then up next, we have Daniela P. Hey, Daniela, thanks for being a new subscriber. And thank you for your patience in getting to your reading. So you have a previous lover who's planning on coming back. No, no, no. And you don't know, what to expect. I just wanted to ask what his feelings and or intentions towards you are currently. All right. So have you, of course, have changed, but have they changed? One of the lovely things that spirits just have and we bring through, whenever someone's wanting to come back, and we're like, well, why did it end in the first place? And do we want them to come back? And I'm like, well, I do. I love them and I'd like them back in my life. But if we're going to do what we've always did, we're going to end up getting what we've always got. Right. And if someone wants to come back in and they say, I've changed, you're like, all right, I want to trust what humans say, but we don't because humans have good intentions. Even if I think I've changed, maybe I haven't, or I want you to believe I've changed so I can get back into your life and then go back to being what I was. Something to consider, and we'll pull cards here still, of course, but something to consider is, well, I'm not just going to give you access directly back into my life. You can come back in proximity to my life and we can date for a bit. Well, how long? Well, how about we say, sorry, falling off my chair. Let's say 2 months. Let's say 6 weeks. Maybe let's say 3 months even. Well, how about 3 months that we can date? And if we both feel, mainly we're saying if I feel, but if we both feel that this is something we want to get back into, then then we can move forward from there. And if they're like, no way, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Thank you for showing me that you haven't changed. Right. And if they're like, okay, yeah, sure. That sounds great. All right. And then you're going to look for consistent contact and consistent, have they changed? And then, all right. And if they haven't changed, but they're pretending to change after 90 days, it takes 30 days to change a habit. Maybe they did change, and they maybe having them do that does change it. Win, 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 win. Either way, we know and we confirm before we let them back fully in and go through all that again, right? Let's see what their feelings and or intentions are for you currently. So feelings is this one and intentions. So current energy, their feelings, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. They do see this opportunity of abundance and fullness. They do feel, with feelings like this is a good thing. And quite honestly, you would have to agree with them, right? You're like, you know what? I agree. I am a good thing. Who wouldn't want to be with me? I'm giving, I'm supportive, I reach out, I do things for you, I support you in so many ways. I would want to date myself, right? And you deserve to be with someone like yourself, Daniela, right? And so it's like, yeah, this is good feelings. You're like, I agree with you. It is fortunate to be with me. Not in an arrogant way, just in a matter of fact, if you put it on paper, you're like, I do. I do. What are their intentions? Seven of Wands energy is an energy of I gotta be me. I'm gonna be me, and I want to, not ask permission to shine. I don't wanna have to dim my light and be someone who I'm not. I wanna be me, and, it feels a bit, um what's a good word for this energy that I'm feeling here? It's not arrogance, it's not that extreme. But it's more like I'm a lion who doesn't wanna be caged and feel trapped, but I want to be able to express and be me without feeling like I have to change. That's the kind of energy that's coming in here, you know? I want what's best for me, and, um, I don't know. I just feel like with what the kind of advice that spirit gave in the beginning, I feel like this is why. It's like they haven't changed. I feel like they put themselves first and that they want what they want, and they'll do the stuff that they feel needs to happen to get what they want, but they're not doing it, I feel, so much for you as they are doing it for themselves, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I might tell them.
No.
So, hopefully that helps, Daniela. I don't know. I just like, maybe not. All right. So many blessings. Hopefully, we'll see you around some more. It was great to feel your energy. All right. Let me bring the last of these over here. We're getting there, everyone. Hang in there. We're almost there. Almost there. All right. All right. So, Patty, hello, hello. Let's grab your timestamp here. Let's see here. Did I write it down right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, Patty, hello, hello. What lies in the week ahead for you? What does Spirit want you to know? What kind of heads up do they want to give you here? Okay. All right. I like this. There's going to be some emotional change happening for you. You have the Four of Cups, which it's a stable energy, but it can also be a stagnant emotional energy. And the Death card is a ending and beginning, kind of like a re-spark, a revitalization. So I do like this. I feel like it's important to know that, with the minor arcana, it's about building uh, balance that moves us to imbalance over time because we become stagnant, which brings an imbalance to get us to the next stage. That brings imbalance, that brings us to the next stage, that eventually brings imbalance. So it's that continual process. And so you've gone through things and you got this great emotional stability, but I feel like it's almost become ugh, boring and stagnant. But this week, something sparks to take you to a new level of emotions. So there's going to be some opportunity, a little bit of shaking up of emotion, but it's to wake up the waters of the emotional energy, which we have a lot coming in. If you watch the beginning of our first stream this morning, we talk about today Mercury went into Cancer energy, which is our thinking and our ways we learn and stuff, moving into very emotional energy, not communicating with mind, but communicating with emotion. We also have Jupiter going into Cancer these next couple of days, expanding our sensitivity and our emotional awareness. And then a full moon on Wednesday, more emotional energy in Sagittarius, which is also ruled by Jupiter. So, all this expansive emotional energy this week is waking up the emotions. And so, it is going to be like, whoa, be aware of those. So, be sure to check out those. I posted some videos at the beginning of the stream too. I talk about all that energy, but then posted the full moon in Sagittarius video, even the 6-6 Zen portal from last Friday. Talked about a lot of this emotional energy, emotional choice energy. Those things can help if you haven't looked at those too, to help you with this, because I feel like there is this shaking up of the emotions this week. And being aware of it just helps us realize, one, why is everyone acting so weird? why are these people that are normally so logical and from their minds are speaking from their heart and emotional? You're like, that's weird. And then also understanding why we're doing the same. So hopefully that helps. That's a little bit of tidbits there. A lot of helpful materials available too. All right. So much love to you, Patty. Good to see you. All right. And then Irene Evers, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So, Irene, you would love a reading if drawn. Absolutely. I do try to get to all free readings during the weekend as long as my energy holds up. And so, yeah, whenever you want to ask a question, we will get to it usually. So, I like that. All right. So, let's see here. What does Spirit want you to know right now? So, I didn't see a question. So, we'll do a general reading, which is what Spirit wants you to know right now. All right. Well, look at this. You got the Empress card. The Empress card, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, a lot of energy. So the Empress, she is about harvest and birthing and very divine feminine energies. But the the Empress rules over the four queens of the minor arcana. Now, each queen rules over their own element. So one earth, one fire, one air, one water. But all the queens get a second portion of water. So if you combine all these queens together to represent the Empress, you got 5 parts emotion, 1 part air, 1 part fire, 1 part earth, right? 1 part mind, 1 part earth and physical, and 1 part passion and energy. So with all of that, and then getting the 6 of cups, which is all this energy, the 6 of cups represents for you, it's past life emotions. And I feel like what's important to know right now is that you are accessing such your subconscious. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not a water sign or have water moon or a ton of water in your chart, but it's like you are diving deep with all this Cancer moon energy that we're all feeling here with the full moon and Jupiter in Cancer and Mercury moving in Cancer. Is all this emotional energy. You're feeling it deep and wide, um, feeling other people's emotions, having old emotions bubble up, but past life emotions that you have experienced with other people in tons of different lifetimes. You're also feeling all of this. So if you've been feeling like, what the heck is going on? All this emotion, I'm just filling up and flowing in all these different ways. And then suddenly I'm over here with emotion, and suddenly I'm over here with emotion, and up here with emotion, and then I'm down here with emotion. I mean, all over the place. I just feel like there's this great amount of emotional, energetic flow that's happening. And I feel like they're just wanting you to know that for the awareness of like, why am I feeling all this way? I just finished telling Patty too. So if you didn't check this morning stream at the beginning, I did talk about all this astrological energy, just not very long, but just kind of touched on it. Plus, I have a full moon in Sagittarius, and last Friday I had a Zen Gate 6-6, which is lovers or emotional choice energy. So all of these things can help you with all that. I also posted the empathic bubble where you can put up a barrier that helps not take on all this emotion of the outside world, make it not so extreme feeling. And also the true gift of an empath, which I feel you are, of course. So some great videos that are there. If you don't find them, comment on the video and I'll post the links for you. But they were at the beginning of the chat from the morning stream and at the end too, before we were leaving. But I feel like those things will help you with this emotional whoosh, tsunami of emotions that you're feeling. So that's what they have for you right now, Irene. Hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. All right. And then we have MV. You are up. Let's grab your timestamps here. Whoops. Your correct timestamps. So, hello, hello. I am well. I hope you're doing well. Your question is about MZR in you. Does he think of you at all, or has he moved on with someone else? All right, let's take a look here. Has he moved on with someone else, or is he thinking of you at all? All right, let's see what these cards are here. We have the Page of Swords came flying out of the deck, and the Page of Swords is about thoughts and thinking and reflection. So I definitely feel like they do think of you here with the Page of Swords. And then with the Judgment card coming in here and the Five of Cups, the Judgment card would be an energy of about, and the Page of Swords too, seeing things from a different perspective, reflecting back on things, and the Five of Cups too about the, movement of energy from lower vibration to higher vibration, low emotions to high emotions. So the energy I'm picking up here, I don't feel like they've moved on with someone else. But I feel like the thinking of you is more about them and what am I feeling and why, and thinking about the situations. So not so much this energy of like, I wonder how she's doing. Wonder what's going on with you. What's going on with blah, 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 blah." It's more of like, okay, when that happened between us, why did I feel this way? I don't want to repeat this stuff. Da 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 da. It's more about self healing and self reflection than caring about someone else. You're like, thus why we're not together. But I kind of feel like that's the more the energy there. Um, of course, that does make them think about you, but I don't feel like they're like, doing that. Quite honestly, the energy I'm feeling MV is you had the interactions with them, you know, to learn about yourself and for them to learn about themselves. But I feel like it's more of a stepping stone than, one of the stepping stones that helps you get to someone that you'll be long term with for the rest of your life versus, the stepping stone that they are. So I kind of feel like, man, they've served the purpose in your life here. Use their experiences to reflect and what did I learn about myself and what I want, what I don't want, but what mirror was reflected, what triggers came up. These are things I can transform and move out of so that I can move forward as well. So I feel like that's more so what spirit is kind of nudging towards um, right now. So hopefully that helps, right? So that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. Right. And then Maria P, you are up. Thank you for your donation earlier. And got your timestamp here. So a general for you and Walter. Let's see what we got going on here. What else to know about you and Walter? Okay, they want this one and they want this one here. All righty. Yeah. So we do have the 10 of Wands coming in here and the 2 of Swords. So I'm like, such a big deep. That was more I'm running out of air. Too much talking, not enough breathing. That had nothing to do with your reading at all. So the 10 of Wands energy, we'll start there because this energy is a lot of energy being invested. And the 2 of Swords is like this battle between head and heart that's going on here, right? And I feel like the main thing that Spirit just wants you to know, and this is more for you because, of course, you can't make these decisions and do this for him, but it's, how you feel this battle between your heart just feeling the love and the gratitude and getting lost in that emotion and then your mind going, but what about this, what about that, what about this, what about that, right? The thing that always comes up in readings about, well, let's get those expectations, let's keep those, going. um I like earlier there was a 90-10. I usually say 80-20. 90-10 is a good rule for all the energy that's going on right now. But it's spend 90% of your time just celebrating and focus on what you're grateful for and joy and celebration and play and fun. And then spend 10% of the time on those nudgings, those that are going, like your kids when they're like, Mom, 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 what? but you have your inner child going, this fear is deeper than this relationship with them. And if it's something that keeps coming up, like a fear of abandonment, fear of being lied to, fear of betrayal, fear of being rejected, this goes back much further than ever before you ever met Wally, right? And so when you go back to look at that, it's important because if it keeps coming up, it's going to keep coming up until you transmute it and you take a look at it and go, all right, so why do I have this fear? Why do I have this thing going on? And then it's like, okay, I see why. You transmute it and then it doesn't become a constant for you anymore. So I feel like this is part of what we're looking at with this. And that's their main focus is like, let's change it to 90% to 10%, but it does need to be looked at, not just, okay, that's right. Let me focus back over here. Things that keep coming up consistently, they need to be they're asking to be looked at. And they're like, there's a lot of energy that's being invested in it that if we transmute it and transform it, that energy won't be going there. It'll be going here instead. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then lastly but not leastly, we have Jennifer Morales. Hello, Jennifer. Let me grab your timestamp here. And hello, hello. You want to know what are Carlos's feelings for you and does he want to continue seeing you? I think I did a reading for you earlier not earlier today, but like I think yesterday or whatever. If you asked a similar question, it could sometimes they all sound alike to me eventually anyway. But just know that I completed all readings this weekend. So if you asked a question earlier in another session, all you have to do is go back to the streams and look at the pinned comment. You can see your name and click on it and go directly to your reading, just in case. I feel like you probably already listened to yours, and this is a different flavor of question around it, but just in case, I want to make sure you know that. All right. So, what are Carlos's current feelings for you? Okay. And based on his current energy, does he want to continue seeing you? Or does he want you to punch his lights out? I'm just kidding. Boom, boom. Now you can't see anyone. No, do not go to aggression. We are a loving channel. All right. So, what are Carlos's feelings for you? Nine of Wands. There is a lot of passion here with the Nine of Wands. That's not like love emotion. This is like physical and energetic attraction towards you here. So there is a lot of that there. The Nine of Wands is a card of there's something holding him back though, and it may or may not have anything to do with you at all because I'm feeling more so it's my fear holding me back from moving forward, not something you're doing. It's something that existed even before I met you that's holding me back. Other pain I've had growing up, and then these repetitious relationships I had where I keep repeating cycles. And now I'm like, I don't want to repeat those cycles. And I have this passion, this attraction, but I don't know, kind of things. So let's see here. Does he want to continue seeing you? Two of Pentacles, they are contemplating it. Here's these cycle energies again. Usually there's a big, I don't think they have it in here. There's usually a big infinity symbol, which represents cycles of the outside world and patterns. And um, they have on one hand, they do, on the other, they're kind of scared and something's holding them back here a little bit too. But this isn't about you. And it's not about you, it's about me. It really is about them because it's about these fears of, every time I open up and go this, I get, slammed or the other foot drops or something, they experience this, kind of pain and abandonment or, manipulation or betrayal. It's like, I just kind of feel exhausted of like, I keep doing it. Why do I keep repeating these cycles? And so that's why there's this hesitancy, and it's not about you. Again, this is about their own, and these go way, way back, and just have been repeating a lot. So I like this for you being, do I want to continue seeing them? You know, there's this great book called, it's from Humble the Poet, Humba, like being humble, but Humble the Poet. And the book is called How to Be Loved. And one of the things they're bringing back to me right now for you is, at one point, so when I'm learning to be true to my authentic self, I stop asking if my energy matches theirs and asking, does their energy align with mine? There's a different power there, right? A different energy there of going, yeah, it's not about am I matching up to other people. It's like, wait a minute, are you matching up to mine? Because if you're not matching up to mine, I'm not going to ask you to match up to mine. And I'm not going to change to try to match up to anyone else's. I'm going to go, thank you, appreciate it. But I need to find someone who aligns with me, kind of energy. So something to think about. And I feel like that's what they have for you right now, Jennifer. So many blessings to you. And thank you guys so much. Let me just check real quick here. I just want to make sure here if SUDESHNA, come on. Do I have any? I don't think I got any responses here. I'll be closing down here in a moment. I'll be back next Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm on Friday and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and Saturday and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. All that information's down in the chat if you ever want it. And I do get together on Thursday nights with my YouTube channel members. So if you're interested, it's $2.99 a month for Zen Cricket, $7.99 a month for Praying Mantis. We get together on Thursday night for unlimited tarot readings, oracle readings, past life readings. And then I get together on Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoons with my Praying Mantis members as well for extra. So if you're interested, all links down below in the description box. I also offer personal readings. All that information's down in the description box. And if you're interested in getting into a drawing to win a personal free reading from me, in the earlier chat in the morning stream, I did post a link to a video where you can find out how to do that. I'll also be posting probably tomorrow on my social media if you want to check those out on Facebook or Instagram. On that it's not too late to get into the drawing. That will be posted tomorrow too if you want to look out for that. All right. So here in a moment after I'm done, I will post a pinned comment listing the order of all the readings and all the timestamps so you can jump to your reading if you are coming in later. And until then, until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. Remember, have some fun. This is a playground. You can go out and enjoy it. And remember, you never have to do anything that you don't want to do. And if anyone asks you to do something you don't want to do, you can say,
No.
I had to use it one more time. All right, everybody. I love you much. We'll see you soon. You guys take care.